where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the ball. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to breathe? See, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the ball. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have, I've been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray? They have enough of time, but yeah. My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the ball. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to breathe? See, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the ball. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have, I've been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray? They have enough of time, but yeah.
Country area. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to the Diaspora Talk, where we discuss issues affecting our country, Liberia. Just a minute, people. Let me get my system all well and tight, connected, and then for us to have a wonderful discussion tonight. It's gonna be fascinating. Trust me, as always. It's always fascinating, as you guys know. Yeah, fascinating as always. Okay, there you go. Please share our broadcast, invite your friends, and let your friends also invite your friends. Let us have a wonderful discussion tonight. Welcome to the Diaspora Talk. We are discussing the issues affecting our country, Liberia. Yeah, where are you? Where you find yourself? Woo. Okay, let's make this happen, my people. Okay, let's get this music out from our own Liberian musician, not gospel. Woo. Yeah, yeah, please share the broadcast, my people. Trust me, man. Tonight, man, it's gonna be very crazy. Woo. 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 Yeah, yeah, the man El Frankie on this track. Yeah, he called this one something big. El Frankie. Yeah, la brand musician. Yeah, please share the broadcast, my people. I'll be discussing sensitive issues concerning our country, Liberia, tonight. Yeah, rampant killing going in the country. We're gonna talk about that. We got election time to go. Yeah, we got a few more months to go to our general election. Liberia. Nigeria should serve as a president to us all. We don't see what's going on in Nigeria. Yeah, we want a peaceful election. We want a free and fair election in our country. Yeah, please share the broadcast, my people. Please share the broadcast. Invite your friends. And let's have a wonderful discussion tonight. Mysterious death is all around the corridor of Liberia. Who should be held responsible? Those are things we're discussing tonight. Woo! Yeah, just like he called this one celebrate. I want to make this money to make my family happy, man. You know, that's what it's about. Yeah, please share the broadcast, my people. Do your best. Share the broadcast, my people. Yeah, today Sunday, the 26th day in the month of February 2023. 2023, February, to the 26th. Please share the broadcast with people. Invite your friends. Connect your friends. And let's have a wonderful discussion on the Diaspora Talk tonight. protocol we are here to stay. We have to discuss the issues. We have to discuss personalities. So it's best not to make the issues people. Hello, my people. Are you guys hearing me? I don't hear you inside either. I don't know what's going on. Is there any some of you guys hearing me? Or if you don't hearing me, please let me know. Send a message. Are you guys hearing me? I don't hear you inside either. Some of you guys hearing me? Or if you don't hearing me, please let me know. Okay, I think the sound is better. I think the sound is better. So maybe your device is giving some issues. They might be able to get through. But I think the sound is good. I think the sound is really good. Woo! That's right. Yeah, please check your device also because I think I'm getting some from here. Bye, woo! Bye, Brad. Yeah, right after the video go live in our discussion tonight, my people. Woo! Brad, Brad, yeah, my people, tonight gonna be some of area. Yeah, the I think you on your own. After you that's the first thing you on your own. Because whenever you're in a situation, that's the time to breathe. Yeah, now you don't want to argue on the issue of CEO. All the friends are all gone, man. All the friends like, man, all the friends who gonna be there for you all of the time. During hard times, trouble times, where I say, I still got a lot of my hands. I still got to get this money where I did today. Still do it. With all of his friends, where I did today with him. He alone is going through prosecution. So remember, my people, everything you do in this time, you have no one to be there for it. Yeah, that's it. Let me go. And I tell that no way. I cannot go. Find a friend like me. Find a wonderful friend like me. Who's gonna be with you during hard times, during troubled times, all situations. That friend will be right there. So friendship has to do this. OYO. That means you own your own. Whenever things happen to you, you're gonna find that bag and be gone, man, my people. Welcome to the Diaspora where we discuss 20 issues happening in our areas. Welcome to the city. You're in the corridor of our area. You have people going to the election. Woo! Yeah, my people. We don't let money to them. I mean, what can they do? Only so much progress on the side.
Hello.
Gabriel, are you hearing me? Are you? I mean, am I audible enough? Are we good to go?
Yeah, you are
Gabriel.
audible, but there are a lot of glitches, and
I was thinking if we would just relaunch the broadcast because there are a lot of
There's no need of
glitches.
reload.
This
We can just explore. I think it's gonna be soft. It's gonna be soft. Sometimes the internet fluctuates based on weather. We're in winter. Whenever we have winter, and then there's a lot of wind and thing, it somehow yeah, the fit. I think you got a monitor on there, Gabriel. Can you have it lower a little bit or muted? That would be better because
let
I'm
me see.
hearing
Let me see.
I'm hearing a sound coming. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, the best thing you can do for us, like I said, please share the broadcast, invite your friends, and let's have a wonderful discussion tonight. Yeah, the music that was being played, and we want to send out that a disclaimer. We own no copyright to this music. We're just putting it there for entertainment purposes, just for entertainment. Are you there, Gabriel?
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, do you have television on or something that play in the back? I don't know. I keep hearing a sound there from your back.
Issue is from
Yeah,
my
you
end.
can check your device. Yeah, check your device. Check your device or whatsoever
Okay.
thing you have.
Let
So
me
I can
check
hear you
because I was playing the something from. Okay.
there. Yeah, it keep playing. Keep hearing the sound.
Okay. Let me read. Let me come back again.
Yeah, I keep hearing the sound.
Okay. So let me leave.
Okay, you can leave and come back, set up your stuff, and then you can right back. So, ladies and gentlemen, please share the broadcast. Yeah, like I said, invite your friends and let's have a wonderful discussion tonight. The Diaspora Talk, we are here to stay. Yeah, I want you to please also bear with us, if we have not been on for some time, due to some technical problem, like you guys can also attest that what have been happening recently on the platform for now. So we always try to set it, whenever we try to come up with hot topics of discussion, I don't know if it's hackers or what have you, try hacking our systems or where else or where it come from. We still trying to get to know where all of those things coming from. But so trust me, man, we good to go. So we discussed trending issues tonight, happening in the country. We also saw that the four guys that resigned from the Spoon Talk, or the four panelists who resigned from the Spoon Talk, how we're gonna dive in that, and also to the mysterious killing there in our country. We've been seeing it from time immemorial from the issue of Mr. Inez, Gifted Lama, Princess, the late Princess, and then I mean the list go on and on. And then recently we saw what happened to the former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scott. Her daughter was killed. Her house, was attacked by armed robber. And we know that's a political armed robber because trust me, they have political armed robber. And more things happen in the country. We got a few days of election. We also saw that the Liberian government came out to say that they conducted a census where right now the population of Liberia is 5.2 million people. And it's just so funny to us all to understand that this whole census issue that had commotion, I don't know how did the government spirit that did this census and coming up making us to understand that Grand Crew and that of the eastern region, have come up with more, inhabitants. So it's kind of a disturbing. We do know this popular I mean the counties in Liberia that have more population and they keep, and we know as time go by the population should keep increasing day by day. But instead, those counties in which that we know we never expected the numbers to go rocket high, and those areas we also know that have been the stronghold of the CDC, and they tried to double the number just to be in field. Then come the election 2023 October. So more to talk about tonight on our platform. Please share the broadcast, invite your friends. Let's have a wonderful discussion tonight. So Gabriel, welcome to the show, my brother. Good evening there from Bosan Dan, South
Yeah.
Korea.
Let me say good evening to you, CEO, and good morning to our panelists there in the US, and good morning to all our listeners, our followers on the Diaspora Talk. And I would like to say welcome again to the Diaspora Talk Days, where we unsentimentally, unbiasedly discuss political issue that has to do with our country. And would like to say welcome again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabriel. So tonight we're discussing national issues. We are touching all bases. What have been happening in the country, and I think we should start out with firstly the four guys. Then we will climb with the issue of the killings that keep going in our country, and we are going very close to election. Yeah, let's firstly talk about these guys. What do you make of the four panelists, the four panelists that left the spoon talk? The four guys resign, and they give their reasons for resigning. I listened to them on a couple of platforms where they said that the CEO is a dictator, and then they also came out to say that because of the case of the CEO. But later, did I get the understanding from Ben Sanvi that his resignation is not because of the case that is over the head of the CEO, is because of his his dictatorship and some other mismanagement. I don't want to say mismanagement, but some other, inward issues, So he resigned. What do you make of those four guys' resignation from the Spoon Talk, Gabriel? Let me start off with you.
Okay, thank you so much, CEO. Thank you so much. You know, when the issue of the resignation came about, I saw many people scolding and reprimanding the four guys and calling them the Julius Acaros of our time. I mean, they betrayed Stanton Witherspoon. But number of the things that I would really, really want to sit and listen from, the people themselves. So I listened to the two of them I listened to three of them on the Heron Costa show and also the DN News. And they listed I mean, they explained they explained their part. I mean, the reason for which they had to step aside. Especially they talk about rebranding the show. And secondly, they thought that it was just uh awkward that they as media practitioner they have a dark cloud hanging over their CEO head and they cannot talk about it. Every time they come, people just asking them, people want to know what is going on with the CEO, even not to go into the detail, but they just wanted to give some clarity. I mean, for them, because the problem is that those people they serve as integrity horse, right? They say he who preaches equity must come with clean hands. You cannot preach equity with dirty hands. So if you are calling someone a criminal and there's a dark cloud hanging over your head, I think it is just fair enough that you address the issue. So many people were left in suspense. But again, up to now, Spoon TV, they have not said anything about it. And which, of course, some people who sat on the platform call other people criminal, call other people rude. I remember before Samuel 12 was called a criminal by the CEO. There's not something that he even said alleged. He said Samuel 12 is a criminal. I mean, Samuel 12 is not even fit to be a Susu father. So those were starting to attack and revelation by CEO Stanton Waterspoon. So when things that they happen, and he who tried to be a man who wants to preach equity, a man who wants to see a better Liberia, when things that they happen, I think it was better that they come and discuss it. So, and they talk about rebranding the show, but yet the CEO reclined, and because of that, some of them had to resign. I think it was fair enough for them to step aside. I think Spoon Talk still owe the people, or Spoon Talk still owe the Liberian people a detailed explanation about what is going on, and they should keep updating the people because no matter what, my brother, these are people who make us to believe that, I mean, they believe in ethics, they hate corruption, they hate unethical behavior, and you can be saying this and be preaching different things. So I think based on their personal value, if they think that the operation of Spoon run contrary to their personal value, to their personal ethics, and they want to resign, I think it's just fair enough for them to step away. Thank you so much. See you.
Yeah, but Gabriel, I want to ask a question before I make my comment, right? What's about Ben Sanvi that also have a $45,000 scandal on his head? When that came out on the Spoon Talk, people questioning about for the $5,000 I was taken from the bank. I think from the bank on loan or what have you. At the end of the day, he admitted to the money, and that money is not accounted for. So how can we consider such a person who's want to talk about someone like you just said, Gabriel, one who preach equity must come with clean hands. Ben Sammy is not clean. He had an issue of $45,000 that we all know about. I want to believe very you know about it. So what do you have to also say about Ben Sammy?
Well, Ben
Why didn't
Sanvi is
he increase himself, when the issue of that money came out? Why? I think it was going to be very beautiful when Ben Sanvi, I walk away with his says, I have the issue. He admitted to the money. He admitted to that on Spoon Talk. I mean, I think it was going to be better. He stay away too because, this issue of money, there's no accountability. Today, he said he knew about the money. So why couldn't he just walk away through? Because once you cannot get a kind of money that you took as a loan or money that was given to you, at the end of the day, who do we consider you to be?
so let me say the CEO.
Yeah.
The money in question was the money provided by the Liberian government, especially um, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government. That was one of their fiscal policies in order to give money to, little businesses, Liberian businesses, to revive Liberian businesses, to give them loan. But I mean, at the end of the day, the little man, the poor people down there, they didn't really receive the money. You saw people in strategic, or political parties.
So how do
In
you
order,
consider
I'm
some?
coming 1 minute. I'm
Go
coming
ahead.
1 minute. I mean, strategic people in big parties, in government, they went and signed for that paper. Some of them even took it. And according to Ben Sanvi said this was a business. There are certain beer called Bevera beer, right? So Ben Sanvi, they took that money and invested it into it. So he admitted they took the money, but up to now, I don't know whether the money has been paid or hasn't been paid. But one thing I can say, that's Ben Sanvi. I mean, Ben Sanvi is an individual, and we should deal with him. And many people have been dealing with him. If Ben Sanvi is speaking on up to now, people still want for Ben Sanvi to come and really, really clear his side, because it is still remain. I mean, the issue of the $45,000 about Ben Sanvi, it is still unclear. There has been no report from the government of Liberia that people who took that loan, they have already paid or they have already settled that. I
Yeah,
think
have
Ben
not
Senvi, I'm coming. I think Ben
he,
Senvi himself, Ben Senvi
he
himself,
admitted to it. He admitted to it that
yeah,
you want to pay the money back.
Ben Senvi himself should come out to the public and let us know how he is ready, whether he stay in the process of paying back that loan, or whether he has defrayed that, or whether he has an outstanding amount. We should know that. But yet, then still, we can say that's an individual, and yeah, we are talking about an entity. Are you getting
Oh,
me? We
thank
are
you.
talking about a
Thank you,
whole
Gabriel.
media
Thank
institution.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel. Yeah, you say that's an individual, but one thing you feel to realize too, right? The whole media institution you're talking about is just an individual to been apprehended on the issue of a crime, which is the CEO. It's not an entire Spoon network. It's not the workers there in Liberia, neither the workers there in America. It's just the CEO himself that they have issued about. So you're talking about individual. Just how it is Ben Sammy who's an individual, the same thing too with the CEOs and an individual. So it's just a single thing. Not, I mean, it does not even run down waters. So, Timax, are you there?
But
Welcome to
but
the show.
but but,
Good morning
but
there from
spoon
USA. I'll come back
spoons
to you, bro. Just hold. I'll
what
come
spoon
back
is
to you.
the brand of the whole institution. Yeah.
Waterspoon is an individual. It is not a network, Gabriel. It is an individual. It says Stanton Witherspoon. He's an individual, just like
Why?
Ben's individual. Welcome, T Max. Welcome to the show. We firstly talking about the four guys that resigned from the Spoon Network. What do you have to say about those four guys? Then before that, I will climax with my comment.
Thank you, Lincoln, on the question. And
You
thank you
come in
for
broken, T Max. You are coming in broken. So hope you well position yourself.
hello,
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
hello.
hearing
Tim
you.
has,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Am I better now?
Yeah, better, very much better. Go ahead, my brother.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, as I think it's not something that I would say unfortunate. It's not unfortunate that these guys are resigning. Uh, when they have for what you expect, it's just I think with the situation with the CEO of Spoon FM, I'm not sure if that's why causing a lot of um, the host on the Spoon FM to resign. That's something they have to clarify. I know somebody said for personal reasons, somebody said for, they all had their reasons for resigning. So I would definitely leave that with them.
No, but
I'm not
Timash, they guys, let me just feed you with some information, right? This guy make it
right.
very clear that they resign for two good reasons. One is because of the CEO being a dictator. Two is because of the crime that is attached to the CEO right now. Because they question the CEO about rebranding the platform since he had the issues over his head, and then they have been, putting other guys' feet to the fire based on corruptions and what have you. So since he's involved with big kind of cases, it's better to rebrand the platform and XY. So these are the two reasons they resign. One, they said the CEO is a detector. What her name said it, Kev Hassan, or too many, and even Dr. P. Body. All of them said that the CEO is a detector, so that's why they decided to leave the platform because they were off the group chat for some days or weeks and what have you, and also the issue of the case. So that's the two reasons they gave. You think that those two reasons are enough for their resignation?
Well, I think no, I think that's that's not a major concern for me because they've been over there when the CEO was there. We all saw it. The problem with people when you have a issue with somebody, I don't know why it takes forever for people to confront it, and they will hold back and allow certain situations to come in before they want to speak out. Almost like the former vice president who was with Edding all her 12 years and then later said, oh, he was packed like a Oka. Those kind of scenarios, right? They were there
Yeah,
with him. So
exactly.
at the end of the day, it's because he's in problem right now, and they're trying to say, oh, he was a dictator and he, not trying to listen, and he's. So why didn't you guys have that conversation a long time ago? Why didn't you guys resign a long time ago? Why now? Because he have a major problem that they themselves are looking at and seeing that, okay, I don't think he's going to recover from this situation. So you know what? Let us get out. But I don't think that's a reason or genuine reason for them saying they're leaving because of the situation that the brother is in. When he was on the show, if they would have come up at the time to say, hey, because of XYZ reason and constant discussion on these issues and you're not addressing it, we have to leave. Okay, I will be one of those that will have respect for them leaving for a certain cause. But now when the brother is in a major situation and then they come here with all that allegation and trying to make it look like it's because of that they are leaving. I'm not buying that, to be honest with you, CEO. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think your view here is very much honest enough, because if I can recall, there's a guy who also used to be on a spoon talk called Katama. Katama was the first person to resign from the spoon talk because of some, you know, uh, are you there, gentlemen? Are you guys hearing me?
We are listening to you. Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, okay. So I think the Katama guy earlier, he resigned from the platform because of some other, personal issues, or internal issues. So I think he did an honorable thing. But my point here on these guys' resignation, I just want to make it very clear to us all, Gabriel, and our audience that are following us. Timas, we all know if you're a businessman, you a CEO for a business. It was later that I gathered to know that these guys were even making $400 US per month from the platform. The CEO are paying them $4, $400 every week, giving them $400. So this man brought you guys on the platform as an employee. Let's just consider it that way. He has a company, he brought you guys to work with him. Then something happened during, then you telling the man that you want the platform to be rebranded. which of course none of the guys are shareholders in the business. Gabriel, you're a business student. You know, the only way you can be a decision maker in an organization, company, or business when you're a shareholder. None of these guys were shareholders, they're just damn employee. So how can an employee make decision for a company? Or you go and tell your boss, say, okay, you know what I've been sending FBI can arrest you. I want you to change your whole company name to XYZ. Take a picture from the flyer and put it down. Does that make sense? That was a statement from the guys. They wanted the man to rebrand the platform because of the case over her head. And none of them are shareholder in this business. The CEO does everything. He paid them $400 every week. He take care of the activities back in Liberia. You think to run a radio station in Liberia is small thing? Gasoline is one of the major things. You don't even get LEC car, but you get generator that you got to feed every day. You got people all in the street. Everything was coming from the CEO pocket. I don't know if I want to defend, but I'm just trying to get my honest view about what these guys did. So what they did is total hypocrisy. When this thing happened to their brother, from the beginning, none of these guys came out to say anything or to make any move. But of lately, they came out and making a decision saying they resign the platform because the man is a detector or because the man refused for them to rebrand the platform. You are not a shareholder in this business. This man spent all of the resources. Whether he get it through means a hook and crook, but he's the one who's spending the money. This man bought their ticket, took them to Liberia, rented an expensive hotel for this guy, took care of them on the return. $5 they did not spend. Everything was from this man's pocket. But now you got one the man to rebrand his platform. Then I also got a statement. Listen to a statement from Kevin Hassan. He said that the CEO is a dictator. Remember, Kevin Hassan said that he told the CEO that Facon, I know he insulted his mother or some talk about his family, and then Facon should leave the platform. So Facon shouldn't be on the platform. How can you make a decision to your boss why he have to employ somebody just like you that insulted you? Even if the person insulted you, we know sometimes at job we have misunderstanding between workers. You either go to the bosses to settle it, but you can't go make decision, make a decision to your boss and things that you know what, or demand him to do this, to do that. No. Who are you, by the way? So exactly what Kev Hassan showed is a form of dictatorship. Why are you making a decision to the boss or demanding him that he remove Eugene Falcon from the platform? He stated that was one of the reasons also he left, because the boss refused to take Eugene Falcon off the platform. Eugene Falcon talk about his family. Eugene Falcon too is a Liberian just like you. He came to discuss the issues. So what I see from these guys is just mere jealousy, envy, hatred, and just more. That's how I consider all four of them resonating to be. But one person among them, which of course I never expected out the man Peabody. Peabody was a very quiet brother who was not actually into the activities, but he allowed them to cajole him and brainwashing, and he came also to make some foolish statement. People can have some inward or internal issues, but the best thing is to settle it or solve it or discuss it. When you come on social media to talk about it, that means you're taking it out to a totally different trend. And what I heard from too many talking about, they're going to find a new platform, they're going to build a new era. My brother, even if you find a new platform, you can never be as relevant as you were when you were on the Spoon Talk. You can never be. Every breakaway, trust me, it is never as compared to the original. That's for sure. That's what I know of. So that's why he said he boasted of it. They're going to be up very soon. They're going to be relaying also on other radio stations. And then right after the election, they're going to leave. Those guys, they're sure that they are all greatest seeker. They are all greedy hunter. And I think what they did is a shame to the entire generation. They just make us all to understand that they are not men enough. So I'll stop here. Gabriel, if you got any other point to say on this issue, then we can talk about it then before we move on.
Yes, I have something to say on the flip side of what you said. Look, let me tell you, CEO. One way or the other, if where I wouldn't agree with them is when they say that you rebrand the platform. In business, when it comes
Okay.
to rebranding, sometimes sometimes if the people or the customer get used to the brand or they identify with the brand, if the brand resonate with them, and you try to change the brand, it can sometimes bring a very 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 devastating. It can have a devastating effect on your customer base.
Yeah.
So the names or Spoon FM is a recognized brand. The people have resonated with that brand. They know the brand. So if they say we should come out, and rebrand the institution, at least I don't side with them on that. But where I will side with them, I will support them, is when they ask the CEO to recuse himself and go and discuss the dark cloud hanging over his head, or take care of his criminal, that's it, the criminal issue that's hanging over his head. I think they was very, very right. They were right to have said that. Look, let me tell you something. There are so many CEOs, in fact, that have recused themselves based on what? Sexual assault, based on what? Just allegations for the sake of integrity. Look, when this thing happened newly, I said this. Stanton Waterspoon were doing injustice to the people by coming on the show and trying to trivialize it, making it look that there's nothing happening. My people, you forgot about that thing, man. Let me go eat my pepper soup, read this, that. I understand. But we are talking about the issue of integrity. I think the guys were right. Those guys were right to ask him to recuse himself or to come. It's not to go into the nitty gritty of the of the whole matter, but to just come and tell the people what is going on, inform them about the proceeding. Which stage are they? Where is it going? Give the people some detail about the case. Don't just come and just ignore everything. I think it is very, very much wrong that Spoon TV, that is noted for covering the whole of Liberia, that is noted for breaking news, that is noted for outlining all the criminals activities in the country, to come on the show and behave that there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening.
Okay.
It's been
Okay.
biased. You
Thank
getting
you.
me? So if
Thank
when it comes to the issue of rebranding, I can say for the sake of their customer base, it was very wrong for them to suggest that, because that alone could shrink their customer base, because people already resonated with that brand. That is called brand recognition. That brand has already been recognized in the mind and the psyche of the Liberian people. So you cannot come and say we should rebrand the show. But for the CEO to recuse himself and go take care of his criminal offense, I think they were very, very right to have said that. And
Okay.
if
Thank
if just because of that reason they want to resign, I think they are right to resign, because it's been biased.
thank
It's been so much unfair to the Liberian people. You can be
thank
preaching equity while you say you have dirty thing in your closet. Your closet is not clean. I think we
thank you,
shouldn't bash
Gabriel.
at them. We call them greedy people.
Thank
They are right.
thank you. Thank you, Gabriel. But let me just make you understand one thing before I go to T Max, right? There's something that you need to understand very clearly, Gabriel. Let's just look at the security aspect of what happened. When a policeman come and arrest you, what does he say? The first thing he will say, you are to remain what? Silent. Anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. That is what is said to you whenever you are being arrested. You have to remain silent, because anything that you say will be used against you in the court of law. So when I tell you gotta be silent, and me you gotta go run your mouth somewhere. They say, oh, they did that, oh, they do that, oh, this what happened, and what have you. All of that can go against you. With the issue of the case of the CEO, like I said, Gabriel, I'm not in defense of him. I also make everybody want to understand that what he did or what he involved with was not right. But I'm just trying to make us all to understand the legal aspect of what's going on. This man have a lawyer. Gabriel, you cannot have a lawyer and then you are all around the street running your mouth. Why do people hire a lawyer? You hire a lawyer to talk for you, and you just keep your mouth shut. And the lawyer will give you the piece of advice, what to say, what to do, and everything will be discussed. So this man came on the platform clearly and said that what is going on, it is beyond his control right now because his legal team have not given him the right to say anything.
But that shouldn't stop them to talk about it. They should talk about it. The panelists should talk about it. The panelists should discuss it, brother.
I'm coming.
No, but the panelists should have discussed it. You understand that?
To understand that what happened is all in the media. There's no secret. Yeah, there's no secret. It's all in the media. Everybody read.
Spoon TV reclined from discussing his CEO. Spoon TV.
It's not forced. Yeah, it's not forced that they discuss.
Why do you mean it's not forced? They are media practitioners. So when it comes to other people, they will discuss it. But when it comes to their CEO, they shouldn't discuss it.
How can this platform discuss something that the CEO is not given the right by his legal team to make comment on this? The people
but the CEO is not the one who is going to discuss it. Listen, CEO.
I'm coming. Don't cut me off. You had to speak.
Okay,
the people who work for the platform, he's the boss for them. He's just in charge. So he was not given the right to discuss this thing, to make any statement on that. Definitely, he cannot also give his workers the right to discuss it. He said it over and over again. He said he wished he could comment on this thing, but his legal team have not given him the right to make any comment. So all that you and I know, we have been reading the documents attached to this case, and we have been going far. That's how you and I get to know the nature of the case. So on this note, Tima, let's go to you. Let's hear your statement. Let's hear your comment on this aspect. What do you think it is necessary? Because the CEO make us to understand that, whenever you're arrested, I mean, you from a security background, Timas, and you know all of the security implications. Whenever a policeman come and arrest you and tells him, you have to remain silent, anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. And this man make us to understand that he have a lawyer. The legal team have not given him the right to make any comment or any statement on this on the case. He wish he could, but he cannot because his legal team have not given him the right. What you have to say on that, brother? I want to be that you get vast knowledge on the issue of criminal justice. Let's hear from you, T-Max.
Thank you, Lincoln. My brother Gabriel, he struck a very salient point when he said it was important at the time that the CEO recused himself based on the allegation and the charge that was levied against him. But on the issue of him coming on the show to explain about, the ordeal, maybe, about his arrest and all of the, we agree it was around, people was hearing it. But one point I want to make, let me say this, Gabriel, in every organization, every entity, they have rules and regulations. I saw a similar scenario with CNN when what his name, the former governor for New York, his brother worked with CNN. His name just slipped from my mind. So he was in a sexual harassment allegation. CNN, his brother did not. He comes on air and ground people, but he did not talk about that situation. Reason being, there are certain rules and regulations within that entity that you cannot maybe talk about your relative, talk about, those kind of stuff. So people follow it. He wish he could, but he could not. Chris Cuomo.
Okay, yes, just put it in there. Yeah. Chris Cuomo, thank you.
Chris Cuomo, thank you. He kind of recused himself from talking about that case. And it was a hot case until his brother, resigned from the governor post. So every entity has their own, situation and their own laws that they follow. And like Lincoln was saying, he's the boss. So he regulates everything that basically goes on there. So if he's not giving them the right to talk about that case or the situation, they can. And that's something they should respect. Now, when it comes to him just coming on to say, hey, you know what, I had this situation and, but right now I can't go in details, but we want to see what will be the outcome and this, that. Maybe he could do that. But to go in details, no. Because if you hire a legal team That's the work of your legal team to go after all of those information, and they're doing their work. And I know every legal minded person or every lawyer will advise their client to shut the hell up, because the more you talk, the more you make work difficult for them, because you might go spill something outside that will be used against you in court.
Sure.
So that's why you keep quiet, and we all should know that. So I don't think he was wrong for not coming on to explain all of like what people wanted him to do. But my thing is, these guys who claiming that he was, or who wanted him to recuse himself, they were right, because when it comes to these kind of situations, as a good leader, the first thing you do is step aside and put someone there, and those are things he would have done. Like when you're talking about he should come out to say something, he would have just come out one day and just say, what, I'll be stepping aside due to XYZ reasons, and until further notice. But the show will continue. This will be in charge, and let us hang in there until I see how things are going to unfold when it comes to my legal
But
battle.
Tima, let me just right away quickly, but before you
Go
continue,
ahead.
right? When our situation arises, right, leader, you cannot just make decision on the spot. It is difficult. The reason you cannot make decision just right on the spot is because you might make the wrong decision. That's why you see, I mean, Arakere say, I don't know, Arakere who say, don't make decision when you mad. It's LQJ. No make decision when you mad, because you might make the wrong decision. The night that the CEO came out to place a warning that the Francis in charge, like that's what you said, right? He had to step aside. Because when that thing happened, with all of the internal conflict they had, he could not just come and say, no, you know what, you been something, you in charge. Kept on saying, you in charge. So I believe it was something that he was telling, to know who exactly to put in charge. So the night he came out on the show to put somebody in charge, we were Dr. Francine, that lady. The following day, it was a data guidance saying the resignation. So it was something that he did. He did place the lady in charge. It was something he was trying to do in the background that I want to be very honest on the platform and say, because he could not just make that decision the same day that the story came on the
No,
platform.
no, no, Lincoln. Don't get me wrong. I never said he should have done it the same day. My point
Yeah,
is,
but he actually did, Timas. He actually did. The night he did it, it was the following day those guys then resigned. He did
right.
it. Yeah,
So
So
he placed that lady.
let me come up with this, gentleman. You see, let me tell you
yeah,
something. If you say you are a media practitioner or you are a media house, I think you should be unselective. There's something called selective perception. That is, I mean, you choose what is right for people to discuss and what is right for people not to discuss. Stanton Witherspoon, nobody asked him to go into the nitty gritty. Like this guy, Benson V said, they never asked him to go into the nitty gritty of the show. But we saw documents, we saw videos, we saw post analysis, we saw, I mean, I mean, NSA, I don't know NSA or what kind of reports, all the calls and other things then that were brought out. We saw court indictment. So what stops spoon panelists from discussing that issue, the same way they can discuss the budget and say Samuel Tour transfer money this Samuel Tour divert the fund this Samuel Tour did this, he built horse in Africa. What stopped them from discussing it? You can't be selective. That's why I'm trying to say they could discuss what has already been known in the public. You cannot sit and say, oh, you know what, we are going to choose to discuss this and choose not to discuss this. And that has been biased, that has been sentimental. It means that people are not going to respect you. Look, let me tell you something. Do you know that I respect that the friends that the rejection on our show? She's very educated. I like the way she speaks. I like her intonation, her speech, and fairly, I can say that she worked to actually take care in the asking of Stanton Wellstone. But again, I believe that she's been biased by ignoring the whole issue. Why can't you take up a day to discuss what has already been known? Look, some people will just look. Let me tell you something. Since that report came up, 1 minute. Since that report came up, not all librarians have gone through it. Not all librarians has really read it from the beginning to the end. Why can't you go through it and just let the people know what the government of what the U.S. government, really indicted Stanton Witherspoon for. The same ways you can get your own bias revelation about other things. So I
we have to
think
climax. We have to climax on this
so.
topic.
You can say you are a media host and you choose what to discuss and what not to
But
discuss,
I
what to
just,
ignore and what not to ignore.
Timas, you want to
Gabriel,
say
I just want to
something? Go
inject.
ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
just 1
Timas.
minute. I enjoy my brother Gabriel, like you said, he's a business student. You were talking about brand, right? I know you can't put on your own brand and then disgrace that brand. So you if you were there, you would be in that same tough spot, Gabriel. I know it's easy to say from the outside, but like you said, people already, kind of attached to the brand. They like the brand. They do the show been doing good. So how will you now, take your own CEO and come there and start explaining XYZ? I think it's like burning the brand down. So it's a tough thing to do. I know it's people will want it, but sometimes that's and another thing. When I was talking about Steno Waterspoon coming out to make that pronouncement, Lincoln, and you said, "Oh, it's not good to make decision on when you're married or whatever." Good leaders make decisions when times are tough, being very
It's true.
articulate and precise because timing matters. If you drag until everybody like probably forgot about you and like don't even care, then that's when you want to come. Maybe because a lot of people talk to you, but you make because the
And that's
fact is the
that's
fact.
what we call situational leadership. You take at
Right.
that moment, you make
When
decisions.
things are difficult and you make those decisions, that's when you gain a lot of respect. You don't
Yeah.
have to wait there. You think, oh, maybe he was thinking, okay, things will slide and I can still hang there. Or maybe, they're not going to go this far. I can still hang there. Once that thing happened and that pronouncement came out, bro, even if you are not wrong, you're in a water mess. So at that point, step aside. That should
Thank you,
have
Kim.
been done swiftly.
Thank you.
So that was my
Thank
thing. He did it later, but it was belated. That was my thing with it. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Let me just say something about what Gabriel was just talking about. Why he said that the Spoon Network is not discussing anything. My brother, even the CNN and the BBC that you and I claim to be credible. Do you know how many things happen in the US of it that CNN not discuss on the platform?
Mhm.
Do you know how many things happen in England that BBC does not discuss on the platform? Do you know? Do you know how
Not the
many
one,
things?
not the one people know about. Not the one
Timas,
people know about.
brother, Timas, you were in the US of A.
Lincoln is right.
You are just giving an example. Do you know how many ugly things that happen in America that you never hear on CNN? You never even see the post from them. Do you know that, Gabriel? CNN, we consider CNN to be the number one media platform in the world. The number one. BBC will come second to them. You talk about, CNN, you talk about Fox and what have you. There are some issues that Fox News discuss. You don't hear on CNN.
No.
Gabriel, I'm being very frank with you.
I'm not cutting you. See, all the major news outlet here, they choose what to talk. What to discuss and what to broadcast. They don't broadcast everything that's happening. That's true. That is true.
No.
You go
And there are a
to
lot of
Fox when you hearing news on Fox and you go on CNN, you'll be like, "Are we in two different countries?" Like,
Thank
bro, I'm telling you. You go to CNBC, you'll be like, "Oh." Like,
But why are you guys trying to water down this thing? It is a very big
No,
news.
because you said the lady was very selective, and I'm telling you
But
that
she's being selective. All the panelists have been selective. They don't want to discuss. They don't want to discuss
every
the
news
kind of
outlet is there. Gabriel, you will know it when you follow these news outlets or when you're working on.
I want you to give me one credible. I want you to give me one.
Let me tell you something. I don't know the point from where you're speaking, but let me tell you something, brother.
No, I'm not saying it's right.
As a media institution, as a responsible person or a professional person, you are categorically impelled to do the right thing. In any situation, you are categorically impelled to be ethical at any given point. Whether your man died, or your man steal, or your past steal, because of professionalism, you should be professional. You should do that.
So it don't happen.
My point here is, why should you call Samuel Toy a role and your CEO has an indictment over his head, and you chose to recline and you don't want to discuss it.
But
Do you
know
know
that
the perception? I'm coming now. Do you, my man?
Do you know that CEO?
Do you know the perception now customer will hold you by? Do you know how people will start viewing you? Some people, let me tell you now, I can tell you some people will just go on Spoon TV now because there's no alternative. There's no real competition right now at that particular time. But once you have real competition, man, look, some people now, they are already seeing that institution as being a biased institution. This our CEO. When our CEO does anything wrong, let me tell you something. I'm not going to come here and start bashing my CEO, but I'm going to clear the doubt. I'm going to at least, talk about it. Just talk about it on the surface. You can't choose to remain mute about it.
You're not understanding where we're coming from. We're not saying you're wrong for what you're saying. We're not saying you're wrong. What we're saying is it's hard for most news outlets to do that. It's difficult, I'm telling you. Until you work with one or you follow them, that's when you will know. It's difficult.
And you are not in charge.
I don't know why.
You want to do
but you're right. If anything happens over there, like the Fox News, the guy who was the head for Fox News, murder. He had a sexual harassment crime. You only hear that thing on CNN, other news out there. Fox was not reporting it. He went to court until he recused himself. You were never hearing that thing on Fox. The news caster will come in. Oh, murder was to do for sex. No, but other news outlet was announcing it. They were broadcasting it. Fox wasn't. So it do happen. I'm just saying it happens. That's so I'm not saying you're wrong, Gabriel, for what you're saying. You're right, but
there's a lot of things that happen.
I just think we shouldn't be selective. We want for people to take us seriously.
Yeah, bro. That's the war is like that. If you think everything will be straight, it's hard. It's difficult.
And let me just make you understand one thing. If the CEO case is being discussed on Spoon, you think now, it is the best thing they're doing. You don't know where it could take the platform. You don't know where it could take it. It could be the end of that platform, or you don't even know. The issue of Henry Costa when the new photo came out. Did you hear Costa discuss that on his platform?
Yes. Costa discussed it. Costa is one man that will even come out and start discussing the thing you're talking about him before you come out in the public. I'm telling you serious thing. I listen to Costa show all the time.
Even discuss it, but I didn't
be the first to even put himself outside before other people talk about it.
Okay, even discuss it. Yeah, that's good. Even discuss it, but I didn't hear. But a lot of things happen in Liberia. Most of the killing that go in the country, like what happened recently, you don't hear that thing on the nation's premium platform, which is considered to be the state radio, EFBC. All you hear about government issues and what have you. A lot of things happen in that country, killing, the price hiking of gasoline, rise and other things. That you don't hear them talk about it because at the end of the day, they had to promote the government. So one thing you understand that what happened, that Francine is not the owner of Spoon Network. She's just a contractor over there. She don't have the right to do anything except her boss tell her to. So it doesn't mean that she's not somebody who have integrity. She does, but she cannot come out
for somebody.
Work for somebody simple.
So she'll compromise her integrity because you work for somebody. Listen now. Listen.
Why have you lost your job?
Listen.
You
lost your job. What do you mean you lost your job? Listen to me. If the institution, if you're, that's why I told you people from the initial stage.
Let me ask you a question.
Those guys who resign.
Let me ask you this question. Answer this question. Haven't you worked for an entity that only pay people, that only pay you, and then you still work there because you know you need that money? You have never worked with any entity that only pay you. You're not so you're making $5 per day, but they're paying you $5 per day.
But that is a different scenario. Yeah, that is a different scenario. I'm talking about something that will violate my own ethical belief and principles. Something that will cause me to ignore.
So you being underpaid is not violating your ethical belief?
My man, how can you say it's underpaid? If listen now, the first thing you should know, you should know your remuneration, how much the people are paying. Who told you that you are underpaid? The first thing before you get employed, you should know your salary range. If you don't accept the salaries like that, you leave it.
That's why I asked you the question. Have you worked somewhere you've been on pay and at the end of the day you still continue decide to continue?
But if
For
I'm being
example,
honest, I can resign, my
let me
brother.
give you an example. In Liberia, we all understand the minimum wage in our country, but people still work for $40 US per month. What happened? They still work. The last time we
Yeah,
received report from
but they are
was
not
the
compared to work. They are not compared to work. They have the option to resign.
then how will they feed their family?
Oh,
How will they
but you
take care
have
of
option.
it?
$40
What the
to go
option?
do business. Oh, brother,
What business?
$40.
Where will you take the business? Where will you take the business money from? Who will give
Look
you the
at this
business money?
nigga. Look at
When you
this
say
nigga.
look at me,
The
Gabriel,
first
you
thing, the
ever pick
first
up
thing,
business money from the street? When you say
listen,
business, what kind of business? What's that
But,
plastic bag?
but
the
What's
first thing,
that
let me
for?
tell you something. I
Gabriel,
can never ever work with any institution that its guidelines and principle conflict with mine. When there are conflicting issues, I'm going to resign. I'm going to resign. Look, let me tell you
Gabriel,
something.
that's
All
why I
these
was
things you
about
are
to say.
talking, all
That's
these
why
things you are
people
talking,
resign. People resign when
it
that happens. People resign.
you don't
That's
you
all
don't
you
know how
do.
people are looking at Dr. Richardson right now. She chose to ignore that, which is conflicting her own integrity and principles. She called herself a
No,
professional person, and this kind
it's
of thing
not.
happens. She doesn't talk about it. She been
No,
sentimental. She been biased, and she last at President Weah. She last at Samuel Twe. Then dark cloud hanging over CEO here. She don't want to talk about it. Then tell me now, that's conflicting. It's conflicting her
No,
own
no,
integrity.
Gabriel, Gabriel. This is let me tell you the
let,
situation
let,
you
let,
speak about.
let this be our conclusion point on this topic and go to
Okay,
the next
so the
one.
situation you're talking about, the Spoon FN last year, President Weah and his colleagues, um, those cases are not in court. Those are alleged allegations about corruption and the rest of it. You talking about a case that is in court, that is ongoing. Those are cases that
Yeah.
is difficult to talk about. I mean, I don't know if you follow a lot of legal proceedings, but
So
a lot of times,
How about the Kumi and the Kumi and Benina Ure case?
what
ANC
happened?
people that case that the case were in court, Kumi and Benina Ure case, the CPP case, and they
Gabriel,
started calling you know how they started calling Benina Ure? He's a liar, he's a criminal, he's an armed robber,
Gabriel,
he's a
that's a political setting. I'm not talking about that.
you
When it
people
comes to the
just spinning
political,
this thing all around that stuff.
no, we're not. It's the
But
fact. When it comes to
politics, not
man,
something that's
when
bad.
it comes to
Man, what you
politics,
talking
that's
about,
different.
Gabriel?
You want
But
to
this
bring
is
Ben
in the
you and
politics.
CPP and that's politics. People will talk because it's in a political setting. But on a very serious note, when it comes to individual private cases, when that hits court, you don't talk about it much, or need to talk about it until you finally get a judgment, or you got a final decision made. But other than that, it's not something you want to talk about. It's not something people really discuss. When it
Okay,
comes to
gentlemen,
political issues, they will talk.
to conclude on the discussion, I would say if Benson
No,
be
no, no,
kept
no, no,
Hassan,
no, that's too much
too
comfort,
many
Gabriel.
judge,
Gabriel,
and too many judge saw, yeah.
hold on, Gabriel.
Gabriel, for me,
Gabriel, hold on.
I know how the criminal justice system work in the US. Um, Mr. Waterspoon is not wrong for not speaking. He got advised by his legal counsel, and I think he tried to respect that and stick to it. People will be upset that he's not explaining, or he's not allowing people to discuss it. That's a whole different thing. But I think for now, he has to remain silent until they get to the bottom of whatever went on and have a final decision, maybe before he can come back and explain, if you have the time to come back and explain. But other than that, I think what we're pushing for is just way too much. There are a lot of other important things to be talked about than Witherspoon and that's his private life and his
Yeah.
private case that is unfolding in the US. Thank you, CEO.
Okay, Gabriel, let's hear your final word on this, then I will close up on this topic and go to the next one.
Yeah, so my conclusion on this point is that I cannot say those guys who resign were wrong. If they found out that the ethical belief and principle of the institution conflict with theirs, then they can resign. Those who want to remain there and keep calling people criminal, why they cannot address the issue that hang over their platform, they can be there. But let me just tell you that, there's everything we call, perception. The way the people hear you in high esteem, they believe that you are credible, you are unbiased. They will never hold you like that. They will just go and listen to you because there's something to be discussed or something, somebody want to say something. But up to now, people are, if you go on Spoon TV, you hear it. What is going on with the CEO? Why is this? I'm not saying they should go into the legal aspect of it, but those things that were published, there are analysis. Those people on Spoon TV, they analyze issue. They gave the detail of issue. Why can't they go and just discuss from the surface on all the things that were public, rather than you trying to be that I call that stage managing broadcasting. You stage manage the whole thing. Remember that go we say the one, we don't say the other one here. You know, that go. I mean, we select this, we don't select this. You being selective. But other people you talk about it, but other people you don't talk about it. You know. So I would just like to say that those people, those guys that resign, if I were in the same shoe, we have something here. I mean, we know that we're supposed to discuss it, and someone is trying to, trying to stage manage it. I mean, I can resign as long as it go contrary to my belief and principle and ethical value. I can resign. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Gabriel. Thank you very much. You know, one thing I should make her to understand to climax this issue of Stanton. Stanton appeared in court and he pleaded not guilty. That's one thing that we should understand, that he pleaded not guilty on this, on the case. So it tells you that they are still going. And one of the reasons I think Stanton is highly respecting the decisions from his legal team, because trust me, I mean, all of the other guys who have been arrested on crimes and what have you, they've been in detention, they've been in prison while the case is ongoing. But Stanton, imagine the man is home right now. The man is going to work. The man had the bracelet, I think the bracelet of Banga on his leg, and they are remove it from his leg. The first time the man lawyer, they find a bond that cost 250,000. The second time, another bond cost 150,000. Now the man case have been pushed to April. So such person who still having a kind of a freedom all around the corridor going to work, even though he's not working the medical fee, but he's going to other job. I mean, it shows that his legal team is very strong. So if this case, it is possible for him to be free from it with the work that have been carried on so far by his legal team. It tells you that these guys are really, really strong. The information I got, I think he changed the first lawyer. I think now he have a second lawyer who is a female. So trust me, someone who having all these privileges from the lawyer working hard on the case for them to be outside. My brother, trust me, you don't want to disrespect them. You don't want to make any. You don't even want to crack. You don't even want to shake it on the matter, because once the one is my man, don't talk anything to anybody. Don't say anything. Keep it to yourself. Hey, bro, trust me, man. You have bracelet on your leg that limits you of not going longer distance. It's no more on your leg anymore. Again, you're free.
It doesn't matter. It's a news. Your discourse is a news. You know, it doesn't matter, brother.
But I'm just telling you that someone who having those kind of little privilege from the legal team, they would not want to make any stupid mistakes.
So that's why it's easy to say that thing from outside. If one of us on this show have that situation, you will be choked to even.
I mean, let's see you not tell you about me.
But no,
I'm not saying you would talk, but you will be choked. It's not an easy thing to do, bro. When somebody that close to you have a situation,
I'm not coming to disgrace.
It's not
I'm not coming to disgrace
you.
you. The only thing is that I'm going to eradicate the perception.
Let me give you an example.
Let
me give you an example, but I'm going.
You're making it sound like it's so easy to talk. Like Gabriel, you my brother. Everything we do things together, and boom, Gabriel had a situation. For me to can't sit there and be explaining that, oh, Gabriel was just arrested. You were, dude, man. It's
1 minute, Tima. Let me clear it down. If you can retrospect, one of our panel had personal issues.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Gabriel could not even tell us in war or what was going on. He kept it away from us. Then you want to talk about this. One of our panel.
You're making it sound so easy, and I know from a human standpoint. No, but it's true. From a human standpoint, I mean, you work with somebody, you work close to somebody that long, y'all gotta tie your.
You have access to him. Did you say it?
And when something happens, something like that happens.
I didn't know anything about it. The person only said they are abstaining from the platform because of personal reason.
I'm talking about a female that you know everything about, that you knew the whole story was happening. Our female panel. Let me just make it very clear.
Those are personal something. It's
personal something. So the CEO something is not personal, right?
What you mean pressing up? We're talking about something that jeopardizes the life of millions of people. Then you telling me pressing up something?
What? That's a personal issue.
What you mean that personal issue? A personal issue has to do. A personal issue affect the public. You don't know that? Do you know why I mean?
It does, Gabriel. But my thing is, I was just speaking from the point where you say you want everybody on the spoon show to go sit down and discuss it. I'm telling you, it's difficult.
It's difficult,
but at least let it try. Let it try to at least brush over it. I say that you're going to.
The man said they're going to open new platform. Let the man go open new platform.
I mean, all the guys have political capital, man. Those guys can make it. Benson V, Tommy Joy.
Political capital. I challenge all of them. I challenge everyone. Then I go open a new platform.
But you think that spoon that eating that water spoon won't build out all the views? It's not water spoon one.
Tima, let me make you understand one thing. The way those guys were very much relevant on the spoon talk, I challenge them to go to any other platform and see as the world will stay game that seem relevant.
And they were relevant because of how the CEO was keeping. No,
let me tell you the people that show
they were relevant because the CEO were keeping the show up. That means in terms of their pay and all of that.
But that's what I'm telling you, Timas. They're
not going to work for any other platform and go get free ride. Now they got to go in themselves.
Spoon TV made Kev Hassan. Spoon TV, I can say it made
all of them.
I can say it made
all of them.
It didn't make Benson V. Benson V need
forget about where you got paid.
Someone who ran as senatorial aspirant.
What that means?
Which year?
But still, forget about that.
2014 or 2015. Benson V ran as senatorial aspirant. You don't know
how many people you had were on social media at that time, 2014.
My man, I said Benson V ran as senatorial aspirant. Benson V was the chairman of the Liberty Party. Benson V had political capital before you go run school.
No, I disagree. Gabriel, I disagree with you. Being a political establishment, dude, Gabriel, you can run as senator in Montserrat. What that means?
But it means I must have some political relevance before I even think about
relevance. Anybody can. You just have to say yourself.
No, anybody can, unless you are not realistic.
Who made Anderson ran as representative? You know that. Does that make him? Oh, you don't know?
Let's skip to the other one here.
You see that? What's that different thing? Right.
So if you want to use that as a yardstick for giving someone some relevance, no, anybody. I mean, you can leave for your now, go run and send it a representative. It doesn't mean anything. The people that believe in you. That's it. But Spoon FM brought a lot of new people on board based on how the show was branded.
Sure, it built everyone up.
It did. It gave a lot of them relevance. Yeah, so you can't argue that. You could run in an election and don't have the relevance as compared to you being on a premium platform and being here where hundreds of people, thousands of people seeing you every day discussing issues.
I'm not calling
you relevant. You can't argue that.
Remember Dara Zidane, he once ran as a senatorial aspirant in Liberia. Mm-hmm. What brought Dara Zidane to prominence was the June 7 protests.
Mm-hmm.
That's what brought him to prominence. So when you said Dara, do you know that Dara didn't participate in the senatorial election before? I remember.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
No, you didn't go nowhere.
I was at Dara Zidane. I think there was one of the launch. I was at a house that day in Cinco de 3rd Street. What they are ready in place there here.
The June 7 protest what brought Dara Zidane to prominence. That made the whole Montserrat vote there. And today Dara Zidane now is a hustle in Liberia. So what you want to talk about those guys then? That they were big people in the country before even they went to Spoon FM. Who knew them?
No.
If you know them, it doesn't mean other people know them.
I mean,
so gentlemen,
there are a lot of people who believe in you. You got your own people, but everything you do in life, every step you take, it gives you more relevance. So don't say Spoon never added to those guys' airport. Even if people knew
I didn't say Spoon didn't add to them, but why I say some of them were already made and prepared before they even came on Spoon.
Now, as compared to the way you're making it to sound.
Benson V were already really
but you disagree with the CEO that Spoon FM never brand these guys.
I never said that. Spoon TV was just an addition to Benson V, right? But Benson V already made his name. Benson
So
V
you should
already made me, my brother.
so you should appreciate the fact that Spoon FM added, like you said, added to their brand. But bro,
When it comes to nobody knew Kev Hassan.
Most of the guys on that Spoon FM,
Kev Hassan. When it comes to a new beat that Kev Hassan, nobody knew Kev Hassan. Too many Joe have been into politics, but he was not on the surface.
But even Ben Sevi, I didn't know him like that. I know he ran on Liberty Party, but I didn't know him like that. He was not a popular figure for people to get him.
No, he was never a popular figure.
No, he was not a popular figure for people to go after. He wasn't. So but you're making it sound like he was one of the popular figures.
Ben Sevi been known for
bro, I read the Liberty Party. Nah.
The man was the youth chairman from Chastity Town. From there, Charles Walker Brodsky brought him into full-fledged politics and making what a chairman of Liberty Party. He was one of the youngest chairman of
if that man was as popular as you claim, he's supposed to win one of these one of these elections that he took part in.
Okay.
I don't think he even went close to even anything. So I don't know what that argument is about.
What's up, my brother?
Amen.
Good morning, Devon.
Thank you. Good morning, gentlemen. I just enjoying the conversation this morning, and you guys are really discussing the issue. And I must appreciate all of you for weighing on the issue. I think that they will give our platform more relevance. And what I can say is that whether or not you agree or disagree with the decision made by the Spoon network, it is your own opinion. Because if you look at it from both the ethical and the code of public opinion, my brother, you'll make a lot of mistakes. Like Masago was talking about Chris Cuomo, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
The governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, was allegedly involved into sexual harassment. In fact, there was photos shown in the public, videos. And his brother working with CNN, and his brother is one of the very top, advocates when it comes to politics. He discussed the Republican, he discussed the Democrats, he discussed everything that you think about. Mm-hmm. But when it came to his brother being a government official and being alleged, and the case was in court, he refused to talk about it because the case was in court until his brother resigned before he even started talking about it. So that brother Masago was saying, right?
And just to buttress what he's saying, the reason he left CNN, they had to let him go because he was a lawyer. Besides being a newscaster, right? He went in secret and trying to help his brother with a case, and CNN found it out. And that's how
exactly. That's where I was going. That's how
they had to fire him. So you see how family and some situation you find yourself in is difficult. That's why I'm telling you, Gabriel, those things are difficult. Go ahead, Konoa.
So once you have a legal team that say, look, stay away from discussing what you are indicted about, you stay away. Now, if from what you were saying, Lincoln, if these guys were all shareholders in the company, they would have forced Stanton to resign because there are institutional regulations that is needed to be followed. So if you are indicted for such a case, and all of us, we are a shareholder, we don't want our brain into that, we'll ask you to recuse yourself or you resign. To keep on to distance our institution from what you are being alleged or indicted about. But the guys were not shareholders, they were employees. So you cannot come to your employer and tell your employer, say, because something happened, so let everybody go home for 1 week.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way, so we can make sense of it, right? Let's say something happened to your working place, then your employee then can't say, my man, say anything happen, close the company down for 1 week. It makes sense to you?
So
it doesn't make sense.
I understand. No, something just happened, right? I understand where the dictatorship was coming from now. understand where the dictatorship thing come from now, because I think they're not sharing us, right? No, I just bought you what you say. You get it time.
Let me quickly conclude now.
Conclude, go ahead.
Let me quickly conclude now.
1 minute. Let Tim ask in depth, then you can continue. Maybe you add something that you need to add up on also. Let's
Right,
you put the
grabbing now. You know, the CEO told me that the CEO told me that they said the CEO of Spoon FM was a dictator. So now I understand the concept of the dictator thing, how to see it, because one, they're not decision makers because they're not shareholders. So Konowa struck a point. They're not, so basically, Stetton was the employer, they were the employees. You cannot tell an employer what to do. So I understand that part now. That's where that issue of dictator, because the man cannot listen to them. He paying them. They work for him. Go ahead, Konowa. Thank you.
Let me just inject 1 minute, gentlemen, Konowa, before you can. Let me say this. Konowa. 1 minute, just 1 minute.
I will give you the time. Continue.
Yes, let me say this, gentlemen. You know, politics has no friend. You can be enemy today, and tomorrow you be friend. That's politics. And what you guys were trying to do in my mind was that they wanted to basically kind of stand up from the show. That's what I think from the political standpoint. That's what they wanted to do, because all these guys have friends in the Liberian government, and they were giving it some stories. You do this. So that picking too much for his say. You're closing down. You too much for his say. You give people a hard time here. You understand? My man.
Vice president. So
Ben Saint, all the guys cannot be trusted. Don't trust the people. People are politicians. They can never be trusted. I don't trust them. Let me tell you now. You're coming talking about ethical thing here. Politics don't have no ethics.
No.
Politics has no ethics. No ethics in politics. You understand? I think you're talking. I see my brother Gabriel there talking about institutional, principles and ethics and what have you. Politics don't have nothing like that. People don't. But man, politics as a whole, it doesn't have no rules.
Then why you have guidelines, regulation when it comes to
Labrana even close to deception. When it comes to deception, Labrana close to it. Joking. America can't see how the boarding it up over here. Gentlemen,
order, please. Gentlemen, please, order.
Gabriel, don't do it.
Please, order. I beg you. We cannot spend all of the time just on this one topic. So, Gabriel, I give you 10 seconds, and then, gentlemen,
we give our brother had time. Let our brother conclude.
Yeah,
I
give you the time before. Let me just quickly conclude. What I would say is that let us give the indictment a chance. Like I said previously, last time I was on this show, I told you that me, I'm not going to be discussing this thing because it's in court. Let all men is presumed innocent until proven otherwise. So let's give the investigation a chance until they can come to a conclusion, and then we can come on here to put all the bits and pieces together, whether we are condemning or we are praising. That's all I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, Gabriel, give you 10 seconds quickly, then we'll move on.
Gabriel, you come out of me.
Gabriel?
Okay, let me say this, gentlemen. Maybe you guys are looking at the political perspective, but I'm looking at Spoon TV as a business, So maybe you guys are talking from a political stance, but I'm trying to say that when it comes to business perspective, brother, you have to be unselective, unsentimental, unbiased. And what I'm saying is that if you try to choose what to discuss and what not to discuss, it's mean that's being selective. That's being, that's being sentimental. Spoon TV is a business. Let's forget about it is called political issue. This that is a business. And one of the things you don't want your customers to actually have in at the back of the mind is that you being sentimental or you being biased. I understand when you say that uh where I don't really agree with the guys where they say they should change the brand or rebrand Spoon TV. No, I don't really accept that because the new Spoon TV has already resonated with the people. The people have already recognized that brand, as I stated. The people already know it. So by you changing it, it might also have an effect on the customer base of Spoon TV. But when it comes to, clearing the doubt of the people, clearing the doubt of the people. But because of that, why can't you come and just discuss what the public already know, rather than being so silent on the issue? So that's why I was talking about again, my brother. When we say politics, there's no ethics in politics. I think I really, really differ with that because every institution, everything you will have a guidelines and principle. And once there are guidelines and principle, it means there are certain level of rules and regulation and ethical values within that process. So you can say there's no rules and regulation. If so, if there are no ethics, then we shouldn't have election commission because election commission is a regulatory body for elections and political activities. So why are we having election houses? Why are we having election houses to regulate political activities?
Okay,
Then we
gentlemen,
come out and say there's no ethics in
thank you,
politics.
thank you, Gabriel.
Thank you.
I think we have digested that topic enough, and we have to move on, gentlemen. Trust me.
We have another day.
I have more.
The man
I mean, we can keep this.
I just look at you, open your open door back there, and I will join side again. Another 1 hour, come stay in there. Yeah, the thing talking. But give right with the CEO say move your hair, so I give it to you. Take that one.
Let's go ahead,
No,
gentlemen.
the thing is, my man, a concentrated mind is
No, my mind is not concentrated on one thing, brother.
My man, you want me to get you time in the thought again? Yeah, you are spoken already. Yeah, so like I said, right, a concentrated mind is never disturbed. So yeah, most of all of these, keep making on the issue of legal case with Stantons and that of the Spoon talk. I mean, people have their opinions, and they stick by it. That's why they decide. That's why they made up their mind on. So I mean, you gotta change it. But at least at the end of the day, they would to understand because we look at the legal process, the legal aspect of the entire thing, and our point where all the legal practitioner will understand that we are making sense and what we are seeing is right 100%. Those 4 guys that resigned from the platform, I call them a greedy hunter. I call them very selfish. I call I just don't want to use some other different words on them that must sound very harsh, but this guy need no business. The Liberian people should not take this guy.
I can help you.
So, gentlemen, let's move to our second topic.
CEO, I always call those kind of people typical Liberian people. Typical. When you hear that
Men
word,
respect themselves, man, brother. They
Yeah,
gotta respect themselves.
that did it one right there.
The men respect
Typical
themselves,
Liberian
brother.
men.
When it's sweet, it's there. When it's bitter,
Men are
it's wrong.
jokers.
That is
So,
typical.
when you respect yourself,
I'm
how
telling you, my brother. All the men are we got a few more months. So
let's go now. Let's go to the second topic now. You need a man, brother. Let's go to the second topic.
And we
Find
are
a friend, let me. And now the song there. Find a friend, let me.
we are been yeah. No, the other friendship are like OIO, brother. You on your own. OIO friendship.
If we go to OIO, everybody breaking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Siada, welcome.
So, gentlemen, let's look at something very important, right? We'll take at least 40 minutes to discuss this second topic and we'll call it a day. Trust me, I'm going to be with time factors tonight on this discussion because it's late night here in Korea and it's early in the morning.
And see you
Yeah.
one time.
So,
See you one time. And I'm phone to you.
yeah. Gentlemen, we have 2 months of election, gentlemen. Election is October 10th. We saw the result from our government on the issue of the Liberian population. That the whole country now is discussing, and people feel that something is not right. All of CDC stronghold that don't have now the number have double or even triple, because we know that if you put all of the eastern states together,
The
it
southeast.
can reach the population of Nimaki. Yeah, the southeast. If you put all of the southeastern counties together, 4 or 5 of them, the numbers cannot even reach to the electoral number there in Nima County. But now the reason that and also a lot of mysterious killing in our country, gentlemen, since the government took over.
That's something I really
People
want us
dying, no redress from the Liberian government, gentlemen. We see in this, we saw the LRA, Freemason boss, Prince Kopo. I mean, and just the list continues. Recently, former Chief Justice Glorious was killed. And let's just go on, and go on. And our government cannot give us any better update, or we have not seen any perpetrators who have been involved in this crime. Gentlemen, I mean, let us look into this thing, man. Where are we going as a people, as a country? And Liberian people are still saying 12 years loading for this government that do not care for the Liberian people's safety. You know, one good thing that we fail to realize, my brother, when I say development, people feel development is just constructing roads or building skyscrapers. No, that's not only why they call development. Development is developing your people, giving them better job, giving them safety. Because if that single man have a better job to feed his family and help the children to go to school, you are developing positively. So a lot of things happen in the country, Germany, that we need to look at. What you got to make of what's happening in the country? The censor, the material death in the country. Let's hit on these 2 issues, then we'll call it a day. So let's start with you, Alfred. Let me give you 1 minute on this. Don't trust me. I'll be town factors on this issue so that we cannot, burn daylight, gentlemen. Go ahead, Alfred.
40 more minutes. Yeah, 1 minute.
Go ahead. No, we'll keep.
Alfred, your voice.
Alfred, go ahead.
Your sound.
Thank you so much, CEO. You know, it breaks my heart as a Liberian that over 200 years we're still struggling as to what we want to be as a people. We're still struggling. I cannot imagine that a state woman, let me start with Councillor Musu Scout, a state woman who has served our country for decades will not be provided lifetime security. It is so mind-boggling. I cannot fathom why that should happen. This woman was senator. She was justice minister. She was election commissioner. And she was chief justice of our country. What more do we need as a people to recognize this woman as a state woman? That we have got a responsibility to protect her for life. Here in the United States, when a senator resigns or a representative, you still have security with them. Especially at the level of the judiciary in this country, when you resign as a judge, You got security because your job at the time you are doing, not everybody was happy with the decision you made. And you are making those decisions based on your conviction, based on your conviction for the protection of the country. It's so mind-boggling that this woman came on the air 2 different times to alarm the government, to tell the government, look, my home have been burgled, attempted burglary have been taking place in my house 2 different times. And you know why the police people did? They just when they get in car, they go patrol around the woman's house, and then that was it. In fact, what we are learning is that the attempt at her house that killed her daughter was a political attempt. Councilor Vreda is on tip of seeing that Jefferson Koji, the city mayor of Monrovia, is the mastermind behind what took place at this former Chief Justice house. He is also on tape as saying that because apparently this woman had very, very, bombshell documents that leads these individuals in the government to the killing of Yiswa, Gifty Lama, the 3 missing boys, the 16 billion that are gone missing, because the woman is a top woman in the country. She's a lawyer by profession. So these guys have found out that they are losing this election. They know that they're going to lose the election, and there will be prosecution coming for them. So they are trying by all means to destroy evidence. So they went to the woman hall to kill her. In fact, Councilor Vreda is on tape as saying that Jefferson Koji was very angry with the guys that went to do a particular hit, and they missed the woman, they killed her daughter. He was angry with the guy. In fact, what we are hearing, those guys have absconded from the country. They have left the country. They are not in the country anymore. So it's so mind-boggling that when you have a laissez-faire leadership, this is what happens. When you have someone who is incompetent, when you have someone who is incompetent and they don't know that they are incompetent, this is what you get. I am so deeply hurt that we have a former state leader like that who will be attacked and there's no remedy. It's so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate. And if Liberian people don't stand up to these things, we are going into another chaos. People think that Joria, because no gunfiring mean peace in the country. There's no peace in the country. People need justice. You have people dying all around the place. There's no concrete result. Even my 2-year-old daughter, you cannot give my 2-year-old daughter that report that the people being given all around of mysterious death. She will tell you, say, I don't think the report it makes sense. It's so unfortunate that we have a country where I don't even know where we are heading. It's so unfortunate.
Thank you, Afra. Thank you so much. Thank you, Afra. What are your thoughts on the present situation there in our country? T-Max, are you there?
Oh,
Max, you are muted or what?
No, your
line was you were coming in mute. You are coming in mute.
You were referring to, so I was just trying to listen.
You were coming in muted.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it's better now, right? Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother Kunwa just, he laid out all of the importance of, the kind of country that we feel we want and what we are getting. But my thing is, I will go straight to the issue of security. Every Liberian, you don't have to be a state person, but every Liberian deserves the right to protection under their government. It is unfortunate, we come on this show all the time and we talked about security, which is key to every nation. Every other sector is important, but security is one thing that my brother just said. 200 years, almost going to 200 years now. Like, security should not be something we should be talking about today. every county, every city should have a patrol team, should have a response team, or you like if you talk about people who serve the country up to that level, should have permanent security. You know, I'll give you guys a story. The former vice president, when he was alive, Moses Black. I had a friend who were close to him when he was in power, so we used to go to him on regular Sundays and stuff to sit with the woman. And you won't believe the woman house never had even generator, no current. He will open the window like this and trying to get fresh air from outside. No security. So now they will have just one person there at his place. Say it's SS, but just one regular person with no weapon, nothing. Like basically, they're probably not even paying that person. So like they're just there, but saying that's their own assignment. Those kind of joking stuff. A former vice president. So
The
I
president,
mean,
our president, our former president.
right. He went as far. Thank you for that correction. He went as far as president, right? But that's how bad it is. If somebody at that level cannot even have security, cannot even have the support to live a better life after serving your country at that level, then what more somebody who's just was a cabinet minister somewhere down the line, which is unfortunate. And I think in our constitution, the constitution provides for that because I always say we model the Constitution of America. A lot of what is in the Constitution of America is what's in our constitution. But do we follow these laws to protect our citizens, to protect our ex officials, our current officials? It's not happening. And I guess that's why sometimes I get frustrated when I see the police inspector coming on air and trying to act like they're doing some stuff over there. You got the chief of staff who's supposed to be one of the last person to speak in the country. When somebody drop chicken soup on the ground, he there and running his mouth and all that stuff. But they got citizens in the country dying on a daily basis with no protection, no security. But they go on air and acting that they're all bad with security and they're all on top of security. Y'all sit right there and all those kind of people moving into people's houses and killing people. Look what happened in the former Chief Justice house.
Thank you, Timax. Thank you.
Her daughter was brutally murdered, and those people got away with no security response, whether from what and what. But then when they come on air, they act like they're all on top of security in our country. It's unfortunate for our country. Thank you, CEO.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you. Gabriel, what are your thoughts on the happenings in our country? Gabriel, are you there?
Yeah. The conspicuous and routine killing or mysterious killing in the country just prove how laissez-faire and lackadaisical this particular government is. It happened with Matthew Innes. Nobody took precaution. And they said that because that was where it started, it happened with Matthew, the late Matthew Innes. Nothing happened. Kefti Lama, Abra Peter, nothing happened. Patin Yensua, nothing happened. So tell me now, in life sometimes you have to make one mistake, then from there you take precaution and become very proactive. The first mistake you're supposed to make it, and from there you start taking precaution. It happened to Matthew Innes, like I stated. So what were the security measures that people put in place to ensure that it doesn't happen again? And when it happened to Kefti Laman, they still ignored the issue. It happened to Abba Peter. It happened to Batin Yensua. It happened to Princess Cooper. Conspicuously, routinely, continuously, they are happening. And we believe that there is a country where we are praying to God for investors to come. If you cannot even protect your people in your country, we are just 5 million people. Look, at my work site, when I say we are 5 million, all the Nigerians will be laughing at us. But when you're 5 million people, why you can't do here? Lagos State alone is more than 5 million. One state alone in Nigeria is the whole Liberia. You people should be able to settle yourself while the economy is small. You people, just if you cannot even protect the 5 million people in that country, and you are there craving for investors, That is one of the reasons for which the country is poor. Lack of confidence. When people don't have confidence in your country, that they will be protected when they come, my brother, you can cry from now to judgment day. I just sorry for those who go pray for Liberia, because God is not going to wake up and deliver that country. It based on our lackadaisical attitude, our laissez-faire attitude, that the country is like that. It happened the first time, the second time, Princess Cooper. And the woman, I mean, like my brother stated, Clover Mususka, it happened the first time. Why couldn't you go and just send some people that, to guard the woman? But I believe that the whole country is sectionalized. If you are seeing with certain political figure and they call them opposition, my brother, they will never ever give you any relevance.
Brother
Grover
Gabriel, the thing
Mususka,
that happened to Mususka, how it was politically motivated. I just told you.
Grover
Yeah,
Mususka has
let's
uh,
give place.
Grover Mususka over the
Okay.
past days she has been seen with the former VP. One of the things about the CDC government is that they just sectionalized the whole country. They came on by start calling people hate position, opposition. Akon signed a music called No Label. If you want a country to move forward, do not label people. Call it a hate position, opposition. Up to now, the country is more polarized than even before. There are people who in America don't want to send money to their people because those people classify themselves as die sedition. And because of the doctrine they have implanted into them, that they see other people at hate position, they themselves, they don't respect their own people. So I will say this, my brother. The issue of security in the country is very, very bad. It's very, very bad. And one thing, let me just say this to this brother they call Jefferson Koji. Jefferson Koji, you are a very young man. If not mistaken, we might be of the same age group, or either you older than me 1 year, or I should be older than you 1 year. But we are in the same age range. You have your 40s, your whole 40s to complete, your 50 to complete, your 60, if God gave you long life, you have your 70s. That even if George Matter we are go for his second term, 12th term, his time will still expire. Political positions are transient. It is not everlasting. Your God judge will get down one day. So after that time goes, how do you perceive yourself? How do you want the public to see you? Every mysterious case
Okay.
is linked to you. Everybody call you Jefferson
Thank you.
Koji. I mean, sometimes I feel sorry for the brother. I don't know whether people are just pushing him into it, or he's just doing it unconsciously or ignorantly, or people just try to use him, or it's something he just believe that he should be known for the wrong thing. He has to take
Thank you,
precaution.
Gabriel. Thank you,
So
Gabriel.
much.
Yeah, I never want to also, I didn't want to the gun right because there's a question I wanted to ask, because when Jefferson Koji was being interviewed, not interviewed per se, he called a press conference after the allegation came out from Councilor Jerome Verdier, who said Jefferson Koji had been the mastermind in the killing of the late daughter of that of Chief Justice. And then Jefferson Koji was being asked, and the counselor, he called the name of the guy. He's a deputy for
Valitele.
yeah, Vitaly. He said he's a deputy. He works for Koji. He's a bodyguard to Koji. And Koji was being asked questions by a journalist there from Spoon FM. And what Koji said, he's not in a comfortable position to make any comment. Because the question the guy asking, do you know this man? Does he work here? His response was, I am not comfortable to answer this question. So, gentlemen, what you got to make of the response from Koji when he was being asked of a guy who is being alleged, and who is being alleged by Jerome Verda? He's the one who carried on the act and was being masterminded by his boss, Koji. And if this guy is an employee that works with Koji, who is an employer, and then Koji is saying that he cannot comment on that, whether the man works here with him or whether he works with the MCC, he's not comfortable. He's not in a comfortable position. What you got to make of that statement, gentlemen? Let's come to you. Let's start with you, T-Max.
Yeah, thank you, Lincoln. When it comes to people like Jefferson Koji, and others who sit in Liberia and ruining their reputation as young men is unfortunate. I'm not going to sit there and accuse him directly because it is alleged. It's a story that is just not proven, but he's been involved in a lot of scandal that tie him to a lot of violence when it comes to political issues in the country. And someone like Jefferson Koji, like he should look back. As I sit down and think some days
No,
about
but
the chassis of the.
Timas, 1 minute, Timas. Let's stick to the question, please. Jefferson Koji was being asked after this guy who works with the MCCs was being alleged as the one who carried on the act. And then he was being asked, do you know this guy? Does he work here? And Coach, he's not comfortable to respond to that question, whether the man works here or
Well,
he knows it.
I mean, I can't,
What do
I
you
can't, I can't. Right, I can't respond to that directly because I did not watch the interview. I don't have a excerpt on that interview. But my thing is, um, I think that's a simple yes or no question. So if he's having problem answering that, it's not like a question that um, maybe of a legal proceeding that he needs to, go into, and he's like, I'm not comfortable talking about that. But just somebody who worked with him and he refusing to answer that, I think that's a sign of a red flag. It's suspicious. It's something you think different about an individual, especially someone who leads an entity. So it raises a red flag
Okay.
for
Okay,
me.
I will come back to you. I will come back to you. I will come back to you. Let's hear from you, Afra. What do you make of Johnson Koji respond when he said that he's not comfortable, he's not in a comfortable position to respond when he's being asked as to whether this person work here or he know this person? Afra, are you there? I'm sorry I could
Yeah,
not get the
muted,
video, but the
Alfred.
video is all on social media.
Yeah,
Can you
you're
hear me?
muted.
Exactly why you are you there? If not, then okay, go
Can
ahead.
you
Go
hear me?
ahead, Afra. What you have to say
I
about the
listened to the interview.
Johnson Koji?
I
Go
watched
ahead.
the interview and I listened to the direct question you just repeated. You see, when when
Okay,
when you
thank you.
when you have an irresponsible government where the head of the government doesn't care about what his subordinates do, this is what happens. Mr. Koji is well documented for his, irresponsible behavior of gathering warlords around him as a form of security.
But
General,
let's stick
then
to the
I'm coming to the
question. What do
point.
you
I'm
make of
coming
the
to the point
statement?
that
What do you
you
make of
just
the statement? Yeah, yeah.
it just tells you that
Okay.
the government hands is behind what happens at Councilor Musu Scout House. It just tells you clearly that the government knows exactly what happened at our house. If for any reason the government would tell us that they don't
Wow.
know anything about it, they would have provided security because they will came on the radio two times, two times, and said my house was attempted. Somebody tried attacking me at my house. Why the government never provided security? That's my answer to the
Wow.
question you asked. Why the government never provided security
Okay.
for a
Thank you.
state woman? So it tells you that the government knows exactly what they were doing. They wanted to kill this woman because of politics, because of what she has
Thank you.
against them.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Alfred. Gabriel, let's hear you. What's your take on the statement that was made by Koji that he's not in a comfortable position to respond to that question? When he was asked as to whether the guy works here or he know him.
I think,
Gabriel, are you
yeah. Uh, are you
go
not
ahead.
getting me?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You was just quiet. That's why.
Yes, I think Koji is either perplexed or he just somehow, I don't know. I don't really know the state of mind because right now, every other brutality protest. I mean, Koji is not noted for organizing quizzing tournament. He's not noted for organizing football team, except for the the national candidate meet where he in solidarity with a candidate like like local county, but he's not noted for organized as Morales said. I know say the mayor is not noted for organizing football teams or community leagues. He's not noted for anything productive. So any other things, the violence, killing, anything, the first person they would think about Kojio. So sometimes these things just make you it just make you feel somehow, I don't know, it just make you feel somehow perplexed and confused. So what you really wanted the man to say? What you really wanted the man to say? I don't know whether he's in consultation with a lawyer because this thing is direct accusation from Jerome Brother. The man is not saying alleged. He said they are documented that that particular act was perpetrated by Fadi Teller, and Fadi Teller did it at the instruction of Jefferson Koji. And even they both had some altercation. Jefferson Koji told him that I did not send you to kill that innocent girl. You missed the target. The target was the Chief Justice, the former Chief Justice. But why you killed the little girl? That's why he said. And up to now, we saw, in fact, Fadi Teller was on Facebook trying to threaten another guy too. And up to now, Fadi Teller cannot be seen.
He may leave the country.
People are
He left the
presuming
country.
that he has either been killed to destroy evidence, or they already told him to relocate for him to now,
Okay,
disclose anything.
Thank you,
So
Gabriel.
I think Jefferson Coach is just
Thank you, Gabriel.
confused because all arrows are just pointed to him.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you,
That made
Gabriel.
it Chucky.
Let me just give my own.
Chucky.
Let me just give my own point on it, and then we will go around again for the second time on different aspects. The thing is very simple, gentlemen. When you are free from any allegation, you're not worried to respond to any allegation, more especially when you are in government position. If I have an employee that working with me, his name is John SZ, and then somebody come and ask me, do you know John Brown? Does he work here? Big enough thing that I cannot answer. I know John Brown. John Brown works here. There's a guy who plays a phone call. He was called from America. His father was arrested because his father is an electrician, and he sent out some crew, at the lady house to do some piece of job. The police apprehended his father. When that guy was called upon, the guy explained. The guy said, since he know his father had never one day even go to police station. This was a man's far away from his father, but he's standing in defense for his father. So if I have an employee and somebody come and ask me, do you know this man? What will I be to respond to that easy question? The person then asks you, say, okay, are you aware that your employee was the one that killed SYZ? Then I can say, okay, you know what? I cannot respond to any killing allegation. But the question was, do you know this man, SYZ, John Brown? Does he work here? And what did the mayor say? He's not comfortable to answer that question. You want to tell me you're not comfortable to answer a deputy director? It is not just one of your laymen that maybe you can even recall his name. Deputy director is somebody who is very close to you that you know every day. So it just tells us simple that Jefferson Koji cannot be free from this whole allegation. So that's perhaps maybe that's why confusing, like Gabriel said, he's confused. I think that is just why confusing, because he's shocked. How is it that the information gone out there that he's the one who is behind the thing? That is worry right now. He's shocked. There are some things you do on a secret and you feel that no one they come out. But the day when it come out, you want to know where it came from. Who get that information out? Who exposed you? So that I want to believe that's his worry right now. How did that information get out there so quickly? Because Jeremy Verder was on time. The thing happened in the night. The next day, Jeremy Verder already came out with the information. And the next thing now we're talking about, the guy in question that he's talking about, it's not in the country. Where is he? The government cannot give account of where this man is. And you see, that's why the police too is very biased. How can you have a police that someone name have been called as a prime suspect, and you do not want to even try to carry on investigation because that is why it's on the media right now. Try to reach out. It is the media also that the police. That's why you see the police work with the media. They get information from the media, and then they work on that to be able to make their job easy. Going to arrest somebody who is there from the whole happening, like the boss said, if I don't even know how to kill chicken, but you arrested the man and he's beyond bar.
My brother,
You try,
the police, hierarchy of
try,
the police, they have become partisan police. So what do you expect? What
so
do you
on this
expect?
note, gentlemen, you have to open the line to taking calls. So I will just give every one of us, let's say 30 seconds to make any other comment again, but it's going to be this time around, gentlemen. 2023 election is closer. We're already in 2023 on October 10th. Gentlemen, with all of these mysterious death going on, and we're also seeing from our brothers Nigeria, the whole election, how is it, gentlemen? Are you guys sure that we have a free and fair election? After Prince Johnson and Mega the understand that the election will be rigged by the incumbent? Gentlemen, what do you think of it? T-Max, you think we want to have a free and fair election? Or you think this killing will just continue and there will be no end to it? Yeah, let me get you 30 seconds, then we'll open our phone line to take calls. I'll leave 5 calls at most, and then we'll call you a day. Go ahead, T-Max.
You know, Lincoln, with everything unfolding in the country right now, you know, the issue of free and fair election in Africa has always been a big, you know, question. And looking at the level of greed and the level of anxiousness for power when it comes to this identical regime, I can for sure sit here and say we'll have a free and fair elections. But again, we hope our international partners can help us, like send their representatives over there and do their best to try every week ways to make sure that the election this year go free and fair. And but if we would depend on the CDC-led government to have a free and fair election, I would tell you I can't put my neck on the chopping board for that. But I strongly urge our international partners to do what they always do, send their representatives, send their eyes to go over there and do their best to make sure that the election is held in a very free and fair manner. But other than that, I would never trust our African leaders when it comes to elections. They always grieve for power. They're not people who are willing to leave power. So they will do anything to stay in power. And I think that's my position when it comes to that. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you, T-Max. After let's hear from you, we'll go to Gabriel and we'll open the phone line.
Well, you see, it's very important as we discuss these election periods to look at history. We have seen over the last few months how the Election Commission has failed on its deadlines. And I would argue that the time the Election Commission is providing for the voter education and voter registration period is too short. And what is more concerning to me is the unrealistic report from the census result. This is very concerning to me. And if the political parties that are involved vis-a-vis the election process and the Liberian people don't stand up to what is going on, our elections will be a chaotic one. Because what I'm seeing from the young people is that everybody going to be involved into this election. And that's one of the things that we want to use our platform to encourage people to turn out for registration. Even if the place is terrible, make sure you find your way there and get your voter registration card. It is very, very, very important. What I have seen over the last few months from Nigeria, it tells me that the young people in Africa are tired with politicians that are continuing to trade in Iran. And if you follow the Nigerian election, you will realize that the young people, over 94 million people registered, first time in the history of Nigeria since independence, to have that kind of result of people registering. According to the ANEC, over 85% of these people receive their voter registration card. So that is to tell you that the young people are now getting involved into the politics. And for us in Liberia, if we sit down and allow the kind of nonsense that's going on with the election commission and the government, we will have a very big chaos. Because if the young people are not happy with election result, it's not going to be easy. You can't control them. They're too much. It will be very, very difficult. We don't have the kind of security to be able to deal with riots. We don't have them. So why I will urge the election commission and the political parties, especially the opposition, to unite forces and begin to alarm some of the issues that we are seeing. They don't have to wait to go to court, because the judiciary in our country it's already been compromised. They don't have to wait for something to happen and they be running to court, because they will now win nothing to court. Because there's a same thing that happened doing how you call him, Councillor Bronski time, when he went to court. Judge, I just forgot how one of the justice asked him, you are the direct participators of elections. Why you sat down there and allow this thing to happen before you start running to court? And how they were defeated. So I am calling on the opposition political parties to begin a process of alarming some of the issues that are happening with the election commission, to ensure that we have free and fair elections. Other than that, when they run to court, they will lose again. Joel will be the next president. That's what I'm going to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Gabriel, let's hear you.
Yeah, I would like to say
Gabriel?
I would like to say unless with the issue of the biometric and some technological advancement, that's the only way I think there will be free and fair elections. And with the intervention of the international community, I think that's the only way. But I mean, from this latest report, the latest report that is still sketchy and somehow unbelievable. People don't really believe it. And we have, I mean, that guy from, I say the former legit boss, who has already characterized the process as fraud, and it is not really professional. I mean, it still leaves a lot of doubt in the minds of the people. Up to now, most people, I mean, even though they said the latest, that's it, the whole counting process have been concluded, but people are still in the country say they have not been counted. More people say they have not even seen one person from ledges to count them in the counties. So where they goes, where were the people who they counted? There are still questions to be answered. And because this is the number, the number you are going to be relying on to know whether, I mean, they vote corroborate with the particular statistics from ledges. And up to now, that result is still, the counting process or that particular exercise is still marked as fraud. Nobody believe it. And secondly, I would like to say the issue of the biometric, they should really, really try to enforce it to discourage the issue of trucking. Most senators, representatives will take people from uh, Monserrato County and carry them in the various counties. And the biometric issue will definitely inhibit that. Like if you sign on here and you register to vote here and you go places like Maryland, it will definitely try to show in the system that you are trying to register 2 times. I think that's one of the things that already eradicated fraud in this election. And I want to thank the international community for really impairing the government, forcing the government to ensure that they try to implement or implant that particular parliamentary issue into this particular electoral process. That's the only way. Everything is thumbprint and other things. But again, with the days of so many IT students, so many IT people, who who knows that it will not be manipulated or something. I think This is the time for the opposition, especially people who want changes. It's not only time you sit down during election times and you want to run to the court. The whole let's say the whole latest issue came out. Nobody talk about it. They are just sitting and waiting for elections. I think the entire opposition side have been very laissez-faire. They haven't been doing anything to really know that the whole latest something go unfair as a or transparently. They are just sitting. The people are saying they are counting, and people are saying they are not counting.
Okay.
They are not even imposing on the government to show how transparent that data is. You know, so we just pray to God again. We have to pray to God because the issue, the whole issue of leeches, it hasn't been really, really clear. There are a lot of sketches, something about it. There are a lot of dark clouds, and nobody believe it. And this the number. These are the number you are going to be relying on
Thank
to do your statistics for the whole elections.
thank you.
Uh,
Okay, thank you, Gabriel. So right now we have the number on the screen to call. You can check in the comment section. Our number is there. You can call to participate on the show. Now let's hear your take. What are your views on our discussion tonight? What's on your mind? Remember, we are discussing national issues. We then talking about all of the happenings in our country, the recent, the issue of the four guys who left, who resigned from the Spoon Talk, the issue of the mysterious death ongoing in our country, and our election to come October 10, 2023. So the number is there to call. You can call this number directly, or you can call the number on WhatsApp. It's there right there in the comment section. It's been pinned in the comment section. And it's also right on the screen. So you can call +8210808905 if you're in Korea. Or if you're there in the US of A, it's very simple. You can call 3192 312600 if you're in the US. So call this number right now and place in your call. We will just take at most maybe 3 or 4 calls in 1 day. So the phone line is now open. I'm open to our audience that are watching us. You can call this number on your screen or check in the comment section. The number is just right there at the bottom of the live broadcast. You can call this number to make your point on the show tonight. So okay, let me just get my own views, on the issue of our upcoming election, gentlemen. As Prince Johnson said that the election will be rigged, it's something that we should also take into consideration. Not just because he said it, but it is something that we know that always happen in our army, on our record. We also saw what happened in Nigeria recently. Imagine a senatorial candidate was killed by armed robber and he was burned right in his car. For what reason? Nobody know. So sick. And a lot of things been going on, voting fraud, people with thousands of voter registration ID card, and then so on, so on. I mean, it's just way too much. We just hope and pray that everything, come to a standstill in Nigeria and they have a peaceful election and a better result that will be in favor of the citizen themselves. As election is approaching there in Liberia, my brother, the first thing that we have already seen that's very clear, and we don't, we Liberian people who always say, you forget it, make chicken and get teeth. And people don't want to see, right? The census report already showed clear to us that there is some kind of a hidden agenda that the government have on the sleeve. Thousands of people in the country have said that census people have not even come to the hall to check them. So how did they get the figures that they come up to the public to make clear that, oh yes, they got the figure in XYZ? And I was
And
just
and and,
shocked when
and
our vice
see, let me
president.
just hold you there. See, let me just hold you there. Look at our deplorable road condition, especially for the southeast. What kind of economic activity that's taking place in the southeast? What kind of investment that will make people to migrate to that place, to those places? You don't have,
Let,
you
let,
don't have,
let take
you don't.
this first call. They call us on the line. Sorry, where's his name? Let's take this call. Hello, caller. Your name? Where you joining us from?
Yes, good morning, Diaspora Talk. This is Terry Lion Yakon from Fargo, North Dakota.
Let's hear you, my brother. 10 seconds, quickly.
Yeah, you guys spoke on many things already, and it's a quarter why in that studio, it's being out some allegations. How he believes that all these, fake, allegations from the Jerome voter is real. My question is supposed to be asking, we are managed to escape the goal.
This
Description of the criminals, she said she saw the poison. She knows the poison. And Jerome Warder, when person describing to be the criminal, different from the ladies herself. So there's a lot of complications into that. And why would the government be after the former chief justice? And she also said that she don't have for anybody. The only problem she thinks she will have, she got an ongoing case controlling all the lawyers and the dispute between Liberty Party stuff, some military issues. That is only area she a little bit suspended. So every little thing you're going, your dreams. I'm a quote from Prince from my man Prince Sharif. Every opposition when they dream about something, they will come out and say, "Oh, President, we are all the government. We should stop going like that." A lot of we guys need to set the message straight. These are some of the reasons why. Okay, let me hit on this phone talk. I'm turning judge there. Issues.
okay, you got 5 more seconds. Second, my brother. No. Man, you will not take all of the time. You will listen to what you will listen to. You see, you already started taking your time. So, my man, listen to me, my brother. This is not CDC platform, my brother. This is not CDC platform. This is the Liberian People platform. So you listen to me. Yeah, so you listen to who conducting the show. I gave you the time to talk, and I'm telling you the limit time left for you to conclude. Then you want to dictate to me again, my brother. You're dragging all of your time, man. So go ahead. I'm still giving you the benefit of the doubt to speak out.
Too many judge, all those guys, they obliged because they see that they are growing up a baby that they obligated to, and they want to serve the Liberian people right. So things are making all that spontaneous, and this guy trying to refine himself, and the process they've been on because they come here, even for the president himself, or for whatsoever address they met. Like the president just said, you're bringing people on board, they criticize my government as they want to criticize, but you're giving the fair message to Liberian people. And believe that people are people to those people, and they try to do the of convictions to do the right thing, and they refrain themselves to come and produce a rebel message for the Liberian people instead of being so biased and all these things. Because everything is about education. It's about resuscitating the 40 masses of Liberia.
Thank you.
So we guys want to believe in allegations, like everything about those cases, you want to switch it to the government, please.
Thank you.
I feel to you guys.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I think I did you justice for time for you to make your point. So,
CEO, let me just respond quickly.
Hold on. You respond to him parting comment. Don't worry. You respond to that man. Parting comment. Just hold on. So, gentlemen, as I was saying, right, the phone lines are there open for you guys to place in your call, make your point, and it will be heard on the platform. Yeah. So let me just conclude one statement I was making when this call came in. Right. Like I said, we'll take maybe 2 more calls if we have any. If not, trust me, we come in and call it a day. So the point I was trying to make is this: it's very clear. Very, very clear. The censor has made us to understand that something terrible going to happen this election. Something terrible going to happen this election. Because the government of Liberia, they cannot prove to us beyond all reasonable doubt how transparent this censor was. Because we know the issue of censor, it is not a secret thing. Everybody got to know. You see people all in the community, waiting for people to check name and XYZ. It is just like a holiday. That's how this issue is looking like in Liberia. People go from one community to another community, one county to another county, village to village, and we know the process keep on. But we could not see all of these things, after the corruption saga came out of last year, for this whole sense of issues. So the government just come out quickly with kind of a result. And brother, we should worry about the 2023 coming out. People back home, they got to open their eyes, they got to be very wise so that nothing crazy can happen. And the government try putting in place, the best mechanism in order for the election to be transparent, which has to do with the issue of biometrics and whatever. I think one of the easy way that we all think with the biometric, trust me, when you have a voter registration card, it's far different from when you having a citizen ID card. It helps you also to be go the citizen ID card. It is just one information. You can use that to be able to register, and there will be also a transparency. But all of these things are not even in place. How many citizens in the country that have the ID card? In Western world, those are things people use to go and vote or to go for any legal issues. The citizen ID card, they use that.
I'm a
That's very
BL.
easy.
You see it?
Baba.
This is my citizen ID
I
card.
trust you. Yeah, so it makes it very easy and transparent when you have those documents to be able to go through the system. But we still not seeing these things happening in our country. So there are a lot of things that need to be worked on. And we cannot trust the government on this election. Now it is the time Liberian people have opened their eyes very wide. Because trust me, these bookers that are in position right now, they know if they lost election, they are finished. Some of them have not even accomplished their criminal intent. Some of them started it and already on the highway. They know what the level, the ones that are left, they cannot complete it. So they stay near another 6 years. My brother, can you imagine? I was looking at Ellis Tyler, the former speaker, the hotel that he had on Ralph Highway. I once went over there. I even took photo in that compound, my brother. When you see how decent and beautiful that place was, my brother, people working there 24/7, the place is packed, people all in the pool. My brother, but the place look like ghost town. It look no different from Dugo Palace Hotel. It look no different from the hotel. No, gentlemen, I don't know if you guys not see it.
I was there 2019.
I got this.
No, I'm being serious. I'm being very serious. I don't. Maybe you guys did not come across it on social media.
That what power can do.
Video.
When
Oh,
you
man,
power,
okay,
everything is free.
Yeah, but man, I was shocked. The water you imagine the pool had I did more growing in the pool, grass growing all in. I mean, the place is just looking deplorable, my man. I'm telling you, just like Hotel Africa, the way it looks right now, and Dugo Palace Hotel, no different. I'm being very frank to you guys. I'm not just saying something to create story. So Ellis, I don't know. I mean, he's no more maybe a millionaire again like he used to be before. So the CC government right now, these guys are in worry. They want to, by all means, accomplish their aim because they know if they lost this election, my brother, they know they finished. Some of them will even end up being bad because the next government to come to power will go for these guys. Will make sure if we have one of the best government that coming up for our country. I mean, maybe they want to do the right thing and to be able to see how best in the system and meet the place. But having said this, gentlemen, we're running out of time since we don't have calls yet. Maybe people are afraid to make their point and what have you. Yeah, we will just give our parting comment because we have roughly 12 minutes to 12 midnight in Korea, and we should be calling a day sharp 12 midnight. So since we have 12 more minutes left, gentlemen, we give every one of us at least 1 minute 30 seconds to give our parting comment. Your parting comment can surround the respond to Teddy Lion all of the that we have discussed. So, gentlemen, the ball is rolling. Anybody can start up.
Yeah, let me start quickly.
Anybody can take the
let me tell you a story. Okay. When Jesus' mission was about to finish on the face of the earth, Jesus had a disciple. And one day there was some that loved him very well. So one day Jesus said, among your years, somebody will betray me. And the one that felt that he had love for Jesus, what he said, in the public, in the face of Jesus, no matter what happened, anybody try will fight for you, you will not do nothing. Nobody will not allow you to go. That's what they were telling Jesus. What happened at the 11th hour? He said, he not know Jesus. He did it 3 times. Jesus said, some of you deny me 3 times. He said, not happy with be where you want to the end of it. When it got tough, what happened? He denied Jesus. So people are tell Lionel, in public, what I'm trying to say is in public, they will come in public to think that everything all right for Joia. Joia is doing the best. But they know within himself, in private, they complain. They are disappointed about the leadership over the last 5 years about President Weah. They can complain. Someone get our resources to ensure that president, we have become president. But they can complain in private. When they come on the public, they either say everything already. President is hail the king. And we, for us, who can't vast, some of us were beaten by police to make him a president. Our University of Liberia. You understand? To make him a president because we saw ourselves in him. We saw someone who had come from the ghetto, and we believed that he was not going to be part of the so-called 175 years of elite in Liberia who crippled our country. We saw it differently. Unfortunately, he never meet our expectation. That's why we withdraw our support. That's why we withdraw our support and say the president is not doing well. We not hate the president. We wanted him to come and set a basis for the new generation of Liberians. That they will feel proud of their country. To be very proud of our country, that he will leave a legacy. That I will be able to explain to my children that when their football president became president, our whole country changed from worse to good. Unfortunately, that's not what we are seeing. What we are seeing is massive corruption in government. In fact, all of the platform here, when was the last time, President, we are ever discussed national, I'm talking about delicate national issues? When was the last time, President, we are called press conference? All the noise they've been making on social media, all the noise they've been making on the radio. When was the last time the president called for talk with the president, that people will call him and ask him critical questions? The what President Sedi used to do, the what former President Taylor used to do sometimes, even though he was the West President, one of the West President. You understand? When was the last time? That man is a bobo president. He doesn't speak to national issue. He goes to the church and desecrate the church. The church has to be a moral ground for righteous consciousness. He goes there and denigrate people. He goes there and threaten people. And the people gave him the audience and go there and threaten people. He has become a new prophet for the country. Somebody that not going to, he not even attend a Bible school. One day he be a church, but he not pastor. He was a musician. What kind of president is that? This man disappointed us. So when we come here to talk about disappointment, it doesn't mean that we hate it. It doesn't mean that we hate it. What we are saying to all Liberians is that we want a better country. We want a country that we can thrive. A country that someone will be independent. A country that Liberians can be proud of. A country that we can say, yeah, when going back, we can take our children from the diaspora and carry them home and feel secure. A country that we, in the future, when we have money in the diaspora, we go back home to invest. That's the kind of country we want. We don't want a country where when you go, when you look on your shoulder. We don't want a country where when you speak through the power, the people come to your heart to attack you. We don't want a country where when people steal government, they walk scot-free, they go, they kill people, they walk scot-free. That's not the kind of country we're talking about here. We're talking about a country where it will be just. When somebody does wrong, they are punished for that wrong. Even if you are at the level of the hierarchy, you are punished for your wrongdoing. That's the kind of country we are talking about. So when people that tell and come on the radio, because I mean on social media, because in America, they feel secure, they got options, thousands of options today. You can say you now want the other job, you go to the other job. They come here and try to pin the government that they're doing well. You know how many people in that country hungry? What kind of country you have, my brother, that people will earn money, will put the phone in their bellies? What kind of country is that?
Thank you, Alfred. Thank you so much, Alfred. Thank you so much. Let's hear from you, T-Max. Go ahead. Or we go to Gabriel and you come as T-Max. Gabriel?
Yeah.
Are you there? Let's hear from you. Okay.
Thank you so much. I think there were, Thank you so much. I think there were so many things discussed here. First, we'll talk about the mass resignation of spoon panelists, and what I will say on that for short, if the values and principles of any institution run contrary to yours, and you believe that you cannot compromise yours for that institution, then I think it's the time to actually square apart, to resign and stay away. So I think that was what the guys did, and it's nothing bad. It's just fair that the values and principles of Spoon TV run contrary to theirs. So I think it was very, very right for them to do that. Once they felt that they could no longer, there was no way that they were compatible anymore. And secondly, for the issue of security, my brother, I would like to say this. I think security is not a priority for this government because we are seeing a lot and lot of mysterious killing. Like we can sit here and count more than 10.
Man, Alfred,
Alfred, please
you have
mute
to mute
yourself.
yourself, please. Alfred, I think it's yeah, please, brother.
Yeah, I think
Alfred, can you go ahead, Gabriel?
I think he has muted himself. I think the issue of security is not a
Okay,
priority
good.
for this particular regime because um, one auditor we call Nathaniel Innes was the first man. He was murdered mysteriously in cold blood. We have Arab Peter, Kefti Laman, and Batin Yensua, Princess Cooper. I think if security was really a priority, the first mysterious killing that took place, that was where the government should have really taken precaution and putting all necessary, security measure in place to make sure that there's no repetition of these things. And that's one of the reasons I always say that's one of the reasons for which most people stay away from our economy. They believe that that is not a secure place to be. That is not a secure place to be. And again, I would like to say this to
My
my
brother,
young.
good money doesn't like bad environment.
Sure, that's true. That's
Let,
not a
let,
secure
let,
place.
us hear Gabriel, Alfred, please.
And I would like
Go
to
ahead.
say this to I would like to say this to my brother, uh, my young brother, Chabasan Koji. Whether you are a doer or you are not a doer, whether these are accusation or not accusation, it is just bad for you to be linked with all of this. I mean, they are not talking about just beating someone, but they are talking about taking away people's lives. You know, one person in Liberia can feed more than 4, 5, 6 person, a whole family. So if you take away one man's life, you are taking away children's life, you are taking away grandchildren's life, great grandchildren's lives. Those people will keep you in their mind forever and ever. And if you are linked to anyone killing, if you are linked to some of these killing, it's very, very bad for you. I would say, Jefferson Koji, you have to sit down sometime and think. Political positions are transient. We are forgetting Charles Taylor so early. My Ellen Johnson said he can pass here and there will be no traction. Nobody, everybody will just wave to her. I even heard that she was booed once at UL campus. Even if Joshua managed to succeed and win this election, the constitution will only allow him to go for 2 terms, and that's another 6 years. He will stay removed. You will never be in position for your entire life. There will come a time you'll be lonely. All the guys at the city police, they will go different places and go and look for a job. They will never be around you. So what are you doing right now that people can really, remember you for, and people can really, really have that confidence in you to absorb you in another organization? I think for your level, you should be preparing yourself right now. Talking about going back to college, getting your degree, or doing something that after this government you can be absorbed in the international. You see, most of Eden guys, the people that American and other people, Augustine Gaffone, as soon as they finish,
Gabriel?
I mean,
I think
World Bank called in and they are working for other organizations. How are you guys preparing yourself? You are in CDC government after this regime. Where are you going
thank
to
you.
work
The man is
with
stealing.
all
That's all
this?
it doing. All of them
But
stealing.
Thank you.
even the stolen work, even the stolen work can finish. So what are you doing this to sustain yourself? What are you doing that you sustain yourself right after this regime? So I
Thank you,
think
Gabriel.
the young, yes, let me just conclude 1 minute, one more minute. I think the young brother really, really needs to sit back and really think about his life after this particular regime. Thank you so much, brother.
Okay,
Thank you.
Gabriel, appreciate the brilliant points. So, T-Max, let you from you and I'll close it up. And we call it a day, gentlemen.
All right.
T-Max, are you
Thank you.
there?
Yeah. So I want to start out with the Spoon FM panelists that sending a resignation based on some disagreement with their CEO. For me, I think that was something, like I always say, those are the typical Liberian man attitude. They like to be around you when things are good, and when there's tough times, they off run away. So it's not something strange. when Stanton was on the show and they had all those disagreements, I think it was the right time for some of them to resign. Now, when he's in trouble, that's when they see it feasible to come and talk about resignation because now they wanted to get him out and take over the show and have some grounds because they're not even contributing. And that's the thing about we Liberians. They're not going to contribute to anything, but they want to have say. They want to have voice, and things don't work that way. If you're now a shareholder, you can't have a voice. If that person is controlling the finance, he has the voice. If he's paying you, he has the voice. So it was not anything strange for me when it comes to how our Liberians act. You know, they like the good times and not the bad times. So that's just my saying. For me, it was very unfortunate that they treated Stanton that way. But I think that's a lesson for Stanton. He will move on and learn from it, and hopefully next time get some better people around him to um, work with him. On the issue of security, like I said, every country in this world have problems when it comes to crimes. But what is good about most countries um, is people get results. There are investigations. There are people brought to book. But unfortunately, when it comes to Liberia, people commit crimes and just go scot free. Especially when it's linked with some political group or for political reasons, it goes scot free. We don't get any investigation. Nobody gets arrested. The families who lost their child or children would never get any redress, and that's unfortunate for our country. So my thing is, when will we graduate from this stage? We don't come here all the time to just waste our time and just sit here because we have a bunch of time on our hands to waste. We come here to speak on serious issues because Liberia is a country that we all love, and we want the best for Liberia. We don't come here wasting our time. So when we are speaking on AOC society, it doesn't mean that we hate the president. It doesn't mean that we hate our country. But there should be people that should be the one to speak on these things because not every Liberian have the opportunity and the time to talk about these issues that a lot of people don't have the time to even know about. Some of these things happening, our people they are not even aware. But when we come here to say some of these things, that's how people will get to hear it and understand what's unfolding. So, I mean, I would say to my Liberian people, election is getting closer. We should stop the mindset of voting people into power based on them giving us rice for our stomach, or because the man gave us a bag of rice, yeah, he's good to be voted into office. We should stop that kind of way of voting people into power. We should now start thinking on people's vision, the platform. What are things that they vision for the county? What are things they envision for the district? Looked at people platform. Is this going to benefit me? Is this going to benefit my children? Is this going to benefit my grandchildren, my great grandchildren? If that man platform don't coincide with what you believe in, don't vote for him. It don't matter how many bags of rice he gave you or how many money he gave you. Do not vote for him because all you're doing is selling your country. And at the end of the day, Liberia will not go anywhere and will keep being in the same cycle because we're not voting the right people to the positions that they're supposed to be and make the right decisions for us, for our country to move forward. So I'm just urging Liberians, be wise. Election is coming closer. Go and register for the young people. Go and register, and you guys should vote for your future and not voting for somebody who's going to give you a better price or a little cash. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, just to conclude, right, gentlemen, I appreciate every one of you guys, your point you made, Gabriel, Afra, and that of T-Max. I think you got, laid, to the head. That just said, the issue of educating our people, election-wise, hope that they can hold on to it because that's one of the things we have always been doing on this platform, telling people to do the right thing. That listen to CDC and say, oh, the president is building a road. Oh, the president is building SYZ, building houses and what have you. The first and major thing that every government will try to do is to build their citizen. That is the first development. If you cannot develop your citizen, every other development you carry on in the country is just a mess. Because if you develop your citizen, trust me, they will be able to take care of the family. Because if you do not have a job, have an attractive salary that he can send his kids to school and take care of his wife, it creates more crimes in the country. That's why you see crimes rate just going high. Let's be fair, friend. It's not all of these guys that are involved into these crime rates in the country that they want to do, but nothing to do. The Bible says an idle mind is a devil workshop. My brother, if you don't have nothing to do like work, you think on so many negativity. Sometimes you can be moved easily by any kind of friends who will just kind of influence you. My man, I guess when I also down there, let go.
That's right.
Thinking.
That's
you
right.
Don't have sense. So at the end of the day, you end up going with that person and go do the wrong thing. They get themselves involved into things they're doing because they want to do it. It's because of the situation they found themselves. So the government needs to first develop its citizen. Then before you can talk about developing the road is that you developing, who want to use the road? Is it not a citizen? If they're not developed, what do you expect? So our people should start voting for people who have the plans of developing them. When that track record for developing people and they know that they can develop them, then of course you are convinced to accept for those person. You guys have to be very, very careful in the country. Election is very close. We have a few more months. Trust me, the decision you made today, that's why I'm going to tell you how your future or your children's future going to be. It's often said that your attitude will determine your altitude.
Sure.
Your attitude will determine your altitude. So if you don't get that, trust me, go and vote for the wrong person. You'll be placing your children's futures in jeopardy. And when things start to go wrong, trust me, that's why most of the time I say whenever the people backwards affected, you and I in the Western world will suffer a lot. When the US rate go up high in Liberia, trust us. So if you used to send your late $50 for school fee, and then at the end of the day, the school fee go up to $75, you gotta increase that money now. At the end of the day, you gotta do some extra shit. So it affects all greatly to everything that. That's why we are using this time, using our platform to be able to discuss the issues and educate our people back to do the right thing. I pray for all the best for our country. Jefferson Koji, with all of the things he involved with, trust me, my brother, no wickedness go unpunished. Anything you do in the darkness, it will come to light. The issue of those 4 guys who resigned from the Spoon Network platform, like I said, they just show the Liberian people how greedy they are. Those guys should not be taken seriously. It's insignificant people. I may say it that way because what they did, my brother, no logical man would want to do what they did. An honest man, no honest man would do what they did. When it happened for the first time, you want to walk away, or when you say you had internal issues all that long, it was very easy for you to walk away. Like Katama walk away because of internal issues, even before the document came about. So I think he did the best thing on Spoon Network. He walked away a long time. Why couldn't you do the same? But you sat on there.
Not only MP alone, even they get Yakula walk away.
Thank you. Yeah. She walked away also. Why couldn't they do the same? But those guys were 1 year down with the CEO, getting on business class. My man, all the standard men that follow the CEO were business class.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Sleeping in Luxuria Hotel.
So that reason when you do wrong, you shouldn't talk?
So at the end of the day, you knew all of those things. And what you want to prove? What do you want to prove? So, gentlemen, it was nice, having a wonderful discussion on our platform tonight. Trust me, next week we'll be back to discuss another splendid topic of what's unfolding in our country. I appreciate you guys, gentlemen. So, with me next week, son, that our audience, we appreciate you all for being on here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful brand new week. So, gentlemen, we call it a day. That's me then later.
Thank you, CEO. Find a friend like me.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, come on. come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not the world. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we go tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray? They have enough of time, but yeah,